Welcome back to Souls and Swords. This is session number 11, entitled World's Eclipse. At the end of last session, a day full of study and a day full of me mixing everybody up in the wrong squares. Hold on a second. I'll try and talk over myself trying to work here. Studying, going to places, learning as much as I could about the upcoming solar lunar terrestrial eclipse, and dealing with law nonsense. It's close to the end of the day, the end of the day that's 5 days out from the 31st of Adar. So feel free to end your night as you please. Discuss amongst yourselves. I believe everybody was at Kilbert's, is that right?
Except me!
Right. You were elsewhere. You would be arriving probably this evening, though.
I would not arrive with what I currently have on me.
John.
Also,
I was out looking for Valette.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so we'll go ahead and
Perfect.
say you guys are, through communicators, are going to communicate with one another and hook up?
Meet up.
Yeah, for sure. Sam, though I may get in trouble for this, I took some notes related to the pyramids and the star alignments. Can we meet at your place to so you can see if they offer any new insight?
Fine.
All right, I'll meet you there.
Right.
So at the gentleman's location, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Gilbert, Kevin, is Gilbert doing anything during the close of the evening there?
I guess he would probably be scrying on people if nobody's over.
Is there anybody you intend to scry on that is of note?
I'd like to scry on, like, some of the gnomes that I know, find out what's going on with the gnomes.
Gosh.
Okay, anyone in particular?
Let's see. Yeah, like my grandfather. Wait, I gotta look up his name again. I forgot what it was.
Okay.
What was the name of
Grandpappy?
Yeah, pretty much Grandpappy.
Yeah, what was the name of Ren's assistant? He's going to spy on her too.
Effie. Oh yeah. So creepy.
That is creepy, guys.
He does have a red background.
Yeah, I mean, he's evil. But were you wanting to, when you say grandpappy, do you mean your grandfather, or do you mean the prince of the Barbagezi?
No, my grandfather.
Okay.
I would kind of be concerned about scrying on the Prince of the Barbagezi, just in case he could find out that I was doing it.
Okay.
That might not be good.
All right. Then, just grandfather then.
Yeah, I think his name is Kel.
Yep, roll a d20. And we'll deal with that here.
D20. All right, gentlemen, first roll of the night. Let's see how bad this can be.
Grandpappy Cal.
Kill it.
1.
You got a roll. You got a spy on your grandpappy. 19.
19. Okay, so he succeeds on his saving throw and blocks the scry attempt.
Oh, grandpappy.
Someone's scrying on me again.
That bastard.
He isn't aware of the fact that he's being scryed on. I don't think it gives it away. But yeah, it just doesn't happen. He is too mentally fortuitous to focus in on. All right. Anyone else that you're attempting to scry on?
Yeah, one of the other people that I'm related to that they're supposed to be off being. Remember, they originally went off to stay with the kings, like Rassican. I think Rassican.
Yep.
So I want to scry on one of those guys, see what's going on.
Roll
Like
it.
maybe my nephew or something.
Roll a d20.
Now this is where you want to roll bad, guys. I just found that out.
20.
All right, let's see this.
Crit.
10. That's better.
Okay.
That's much better.
So you focus in on the scry, and you notice that this individual appears to be in a pretty busy, wide open area. You can't focus in on it with the water, the pool that you're scrying into. As you're kind of looking into the water, you notice the edging around the water starts to become chilled and kind of rime at the edges, and it kind of opens up a bit to allow you to focus a bit more acutely on the individual and their surroundings. It appears that they're in a large, grand kind of hall, long table, a bunch of chairs. It seems chairs have been modified to allow for gnomes to kind of sit in them with ease, and it looks like a lot of your family's kind of seated around this table. Pretty much everyone who went away and went to Rassikin's territory. Based on the architecture and design, you presume that this grand hall is the dining chamber of Rassikin's manor.
Excellent. Okay.
Okay. And that's it?
Yeah, that's good for now.
Cool. Ren and Broxgar, just if you have anything that you're wanting to do at the close of the evening, oh, and Brack as well, is there anything that you want to do that kind of closes out the night?
Nah, nothing special. Just taking notes, writing things down in my little area in the den.
Yeah, okay. You would notice that some of the materials in the library seem to have gone missing. Nothing of import to you, but definitely some of the things that were kind of close to or related to what you think Sam might have been studying regarding star signs. All right. Ren, for you?
I would want to sort of check out the defenses around the house at this point.
There's still a contingent of the Barbagesi Principal Guard. There is still the Company of the Foot, which is Gilbert's contingent of foot soldiers. The conglomerate mercenaries, or the mercenaries that were not mercenaries but were conglomerate agents, have left. And there are still 6 archers remaining for the Sentry Company.
Okay. Is Gilbert wearing his sword?
Gilbert
Okay.
is still wearing Raven's Razor.
Yep. Ren is going to bed down in the library with Brox.
Okay. And Brock? You would notice that Ren and Broxgar kind of hold up in the place with books.
That leaves a big old kitchen table open for me.
Okay. Returning to the typical sleeping pattern of eat until unconscious. Perfect. The night cycles through. You awake the next day. So, before that happens, Valette and Sam, you get together at the gentleman's location. And what do you two discuss?
Right. So, before you say anything, I'm going to say I have terms, first of all, which are a scroll of rope trick, counterspell, legend lore, and true sight. You get me those, I'll meet with your stupid goodman.
He has thought this through.
I have thought this through.
Looks like Valette is
Valette-
stumped.
No, Valette's just waiting to be given permission to talk. She's just like waiting there, like waiting
yeah.
to see if there's anything else.
Oh, and real quick, too.
Also-
Make an Arcana check while you're waiting. Wisdom Arcana.
Me?
Yep.
I am not efficient. No, so that would just be a series
Wisdom.
of wisdom. I click this. 15.
Okay. You were semi-familiar from Yen Lauren and Sam discussing field magic when you went into the Pyramid of Souls regarding the Lich's container and his location. You have this sense that similar magics are present, but you aren't able to decipher any particulars. Just that this place seems to be Base Camp Sam.
Okay.
Also, if he does end up taking me in for anything. I want you to swear on your life that you will either get me out or kill me in there. Right.
Vlek continues until you say anything. She's like trying to be on Sam's good side, so she does not say a thing. It's like, are you going to respond or something like that? Like she's not going to say anything until you say, so.
My gosh, are you going to say something or you're just going to stand there? Are you actually on?
I didn't. I wanted to make sure you were finished. You seemed like it was very important for me not to interrupt. Yes.
We've been standing here for 2 minutes staring at each other.
Well, yes, I thought the long pauses were quite odd, but I just wanted to be safe. If you can write those down, I shall bring it up to the major, and I'm.
I hand Valletta a list.
Doesn't even need to draw it up, already has.
And as far as the second part, I swear that I will, to my utmost, try to get you out of that tower if they detain you, or if that is not possible, take it so that they cannot end your life. I would hate that to be the way it goes, but if those are your terms.
Well, you know, we must plan for these things.
So these came straight off his desk, and if possible, there's a way to like fast copy them so I can return them and maybe not get in trouble. That'd be great, but yeah, here are the notes. Oh, we should probably go inside first.
I thought we were inside
Oh,
already.
okay. So then I take them out of my bag, and just not that I don't trust you, but I just will not let these out of my sight.
So I know that I have some paper on me, John. I'm not sure how much I have, but it's probably like, I'd say at most, a little over a dozen sheets. Is that sufficient to copy down what there is here, or no?
So not the entirety, you won't be able to get the bulk, but as you're kind of sifting through it, and I've already sent you the details, there's a lot of duplication. So there's a lot of things that you already have, that you've already sussed out yourself, that the individual who wrote these notes, they came to the same conclusions. So the only thing that you're really focusing on for copying purposes, I'd say that's probably roll a d10, add 2.
D10 add 2.
Yeah.
I'm on 10. Damn.
What'd you get?
3.
So there's only 3 full pages worth of content that you really need to transfer over, and that's basically a couple of pages, 3 pages total on those pyramids.
Okay, well, I can ritual cast that so I can get, you know.
He starts kind of moving his hand over, and a light kind of beams across the paper, and then he moves it across the other paper, and the words seem to copy over onto the other paper. Saying words like Dora Sen Xerox, Xerox, Xerox. Copying the paper to the other side.
That's out of ink. Paper jam.
No toner. And copies the 3 pages that he needs, granting you the work. And yeah, basically, as I described to you in the side chat, the content that you're looking at here is very similar to your own, with the exception of the seemingly present importance with these pyramids. They seem to be linked according to the author of these notes.
Cool.
Okay. If you want to spend some time this evening, because it is late in the day, in game, if you want to spend some time staying up late to try and kind of see if you can't work out any of this and kind of maybe make a breakthrough or connection, you can stay up. I'll need you to make 2 checks if you want to stay up. If not, you can do it the next day. Your call.
Oh, I'm staying up for this.
Arcana, intelligence arcana check, and constitution saving throw.
I'm doing the con
Can
save.
I cast if I'm there and he's like looking like he's going to? Can I cast enhance ability intelligence on him?
Yes,
Cool, so advantage.
that's right. How long? Wait,
19.
real quick. How long does enhance ability last?
An hour.
Okay, then it's good. That's fine. Okay, 19 was the total.
Yes.
Okay, so
And a 17 for the con save.
you managed to not gain a level of exhaustion as you're studying. You only stay up for an hour or two afterwards, anyways, and you're able to kind of pinpoint these factors. If, as you understand it, Einkarn is the location of the Pyramid of Shadows, and Rostagar is the location of the Pyramid of Souls, that means that the Pyramid of Light has to be somewhere inside of the inside of the Madromic Ocean to the south. And the reason why you're doing that is because you keep triangulating and creating kind of a triangle based on the triangle that formed in the stars a couple of days ago, and kind of working out where they might be located. And as you keep on pinpointing it and kind of working it against your map, it seems to be very, very close to the city of Old Heisrick, the capital of Jernaris, and also the birthplace of the conglomerate.
Great.
Okay. So, if that's all, you rest. It's the next day. 4 more days until the doom of us all.
Hooray!
That said, plan of action for the day. Let's start with Brock's Garden there. See what you have, what you want to try and do today. Muted.
Sorry, let's not start with Brock's. Let me think.
Fair enough. You just got out of prison, man. It's cool. I get it. In game. Frack also probably needs some time to think. Or do you have a plan? Okay. Gilbert.
All right. I would like to procure some diamonds,
Okay.
and I could use my special ability, which allows me to get things. I don't know
Yeah.
if that really applies.
You can make a resources check.
Yeah.
It will be at disadvantage right now because it seems a lot of like your noble contacts are actually inside of Alderac, the Capitol building, due to the wedding going on in a couple of days.
Right.
But you can make a resources check at disadvantage if you'd like.
Is this? Do you just click on resources, or do you actually have to do something?
You'd have to click on, if you look at the resources ability, it should tell you what you need to roll. Inside, I believe.
Yeah, it says. What do they say it is?
Inside.
Insight. Okay, I'm glad I couldn't see that for some reason. Oh well. Insight. Let's do this, guys. All right. Ooh, I rolled hot. 25 and 26.
So 25. All right. Yeah, you'll spend the better part of the morning gathering those articles. And you said you just wanted some diamonds, I'm assuming, for a resurrection spell?
Or revivify spells, yeah.
Okay.
I guess is it 1,000 gold pieces each that they have to be?
300 for revivify.
Oh, 300. Nice. That means I can get 3 for 1,000.
Yeah, I would say that would probably be about the limit of your resources pool for the day. Is
Okay.
basically 3 castings of revivify.
Yeah.
Okay.
That sounds fair.
And the
I'm
better-
just trying to pick some of those up. Anything else? Continue to scry on everybody I know.
Well, that'll be the better part of your morning. So we're going to go ahead and see if we can't. Scrying is the next object of.
Right. I
intent.
could do that later.
Sure. Ren.
Sounds good.
Yep. So out of character question is, we don't know anything about what happened at the pyramid, right?
What pyramid?
Wasn't there a thing where you ended an episode where the
I don't know what you're talking
creature was?
Yeah, what?
about. What was the last time you were in a pyramid? As Ren.
I mean,
As-
Sam went to a pyramid at some point recently, but
He didn't
But
tell
didn't you
anybody
end-
about it.
Okay, but you ended a session with that kind of information for the players. Is that right?
Yeah, like a bad guy scene.
I
Yes.
think you're thinking of something that is not related to us. Directly.
no, I think he's thinking of something related to us, just nothing that we would know about.
Well, that's what I'm asking. If we would,
Directly, yeah.
so we wouldn't know about this. That's fine. That's fine. We wouldn't know about this. Ren feels kind of out of his depth right now, and really kind of is relying on Sam to take the lead. So he doesn't want the party to be split. So he's going to stay close to Gilbert, Vrac, and Brox.
Okay. And I'm assuming Valette stayed with Sam.
Yes, because we studied to the wee hours of the morning. Valette praying prayers of that he would have a focused mind as he studied. And then first thing in the morning has a quick talk of let me know what happens. I'm going to read. Basically, Valette's returning said notes to hopefully avoid getting in trouble. And then
Why are you doubling? Sorry,
what's that?
you're doubling. Sounds like someone's got. Go ahead and say something, Tim.
Hello?
Okay.
Better?
Yeah.
Okay. So Valette would probably have a short talk with Sam, and then her plan is to go to tower, return notes on desk, take back her note, and possibly page Magier with Sam's desires.
Okay. Before you leave Sam's new abode, you hear this kind of like strange voice coming from behind you. Sam, you don't hear anything. Valette, as you're kind of turning around to look, you see that Agatha is kind of standing at the door, kind of looking at you. It's an interesting place you've got here.
Sam, she's here.
What?
I draw judgment.
Put it down. It's not worth your time. I'm not really here, you idiot.
Valette, I haven't been captured yet. Don't think about using that on me.
Agatha Steiner is appearing before me to taunt me. What do you want?
Oh, I'm not taunting you. I just wanted to make sure that you're aware that we can see this, all of this, now that you've allowed me access.
I want you to put the sword down, Valette. Everything's all right.
How? This was supposed to have been taken care of.
Was it? No, you and me are inextricably linked. We have the same soul. You fool.
It's not that hard. You just lower your arms and put it back into the sheath.
Well,
Nice.
this movement was like Valette, as she starts continuing to talk, puts it away, realizing that there's nothing to do.
Okay,
So she sheaths judgment.
the sword's put
and-
away, but Valette is talking to somebody that's not present.
I know. I'm sorry. It was just too good
Yeah.
to not.
Nothing to worry about, Sam.
She says,
What is your goal? What is
More-
your aim?
more than certain that Gran will be interested to know about this location. Thanks for the information. She fades away. But when she fades away, you see her kind of face kind of shift off to the side in the image that you're kind of seeing of her, kind of the clock off, and underneath you can kind of see a bit of what you look like underneath the mask.
Oh gosh. Sam, I'll leave here to do it, but I need to return these notes. Contact the Magier. Somehow they're still linked to me, and they just saw everything we researched. They know the location of this pyramid. I think we must set out
No.
at once.
They know the location of Sam's house.
Oh,
Yeah, it's not okay. It's not that bad. They don't know the pyramid. It's actually much worse because they know Sam.
Right. Forget the plot. They know where Sam lives. That's it. Sam's house gonna get knocked on.
all right. So, all right. Now that you explain that, then instead, Valette would be saying that, like, for whatever reason, our souls are still linked. I apologize. I thought this was taken care of. They know about your house now. This wasn't the first time I've been here, but for whatever reason, she chose now to taunt us about it.
It's the
See,
first
this
time
is
you've
why
seen
just
someone, okay?
we have this trust problem.
I thought this was taken care of.
Just
I saw the operation remove whatever it was.
go. I'll just figure it out.
Want me to know what the others decide about the pyramid? I'll be off.
Okay. Let's see. Gilbert's going to scry on some people, but before that, we've got the triumvirate of Broxgar, Ren, and Brack. Brack,
I need money.
yeah, money is a good choice. Let's see.
This is pre-wedding.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
yeah. This is technically 4 days prior.
I need
Um,
lots of money. I'm gonna go find Gilbert and bug him and try to borrow 600,000.
Role play. Role, role play that
That'll
out.
be great. I can't wait.
Let me see that. So you go upstairs to Gilbert after he arrives back home with a pocket full of diamonds, which he just sprawls out on a table. He walks over to his scrying mirror, and you kind of enter in as he's doing that, and you see him. Gilbert, you see Brox.
Brox, buddy old pal, what are you up to?
Oh, not much, Gilbert. How's it going?
Oh, pretty good. Busy, you know. Got to keep up with what's going on in the town.
Hey, I appreciate you having my back the other day in the court. It was a pretty easy case for you, huh? You worked them like a master.
Well, you know what? For as far as that term easy, the masters make it look easy. Think about that. And I wink at him.
I that you did. You made it look easy. You're a social master.
Hey, and let me tell you something. Don't worry about the money because a winner like you can always get more money. All right? We'll worry about that when it comes. Just try to relax. You know, enjoy your freedom.
Yeah, I plan to do that. We only have a couple of days though. That's quite a bit of money.
I think that we can get the amount reduced. Let me use my contact. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, let me use my contacts and see what I can do. I think we can get the amount reduced. You know, we're still going to owe a lot of money, but maybe we could pay it off with favors or something. You know, like maybe if you went around and did speaking engagements. You know.
Real quick, Gilbert, is the belt or is the sword on your belt?
Yes, it is.
Okay, Broxgar, you notice something very sudden happen when he says "we" as he's taking ownership of your debt. The sword disappears and appears on the side table near the bed. Gilbert doesn't seem to notice in the middle of the conversation, but you watch the sword dissipate, appear elsewhere. It's no longer at Gilbert's belt.
I would
That's
be in
strange.
the room when I noticed that too.
No, you weren't there. This is up in Gilbert's bedroom.
Oh, it's not in the study.
Yeah, he's up in the scrying chamber. Broxgar went up there
Okay,
to go
okay.
and basically try and get some assistance.
This is where all the cool kids are. But you choose to be down there. That's fine.
Yep.
All right, so go ahead. So like, I don't even notice that. So
Yep.
Gilbert, your sword moved.
what? What the hell?
You see
That
it
thing is
sitting
so weird.
on the table away from you.
I'm gonna go and grab it and put it on my waist.
Okay. Yep, it goes
Maybe
back
it
on your
fell
belt.
Yeah. Maybe it fell off when I was walking by there or something. Who knows? But, anyways, I don't know. What are your thoughts about this crazy, world-ending thing happening in a little while? You know, what are your thoughts about that?
Nothing's gonna happen. They've said this kind of stuff before that the world's gonna end. It keeps on.
Well, yeah. Now that you mention it, Sam was really like pushing this idea, and he's kind of crazy. You know, I mean, he's a little bit of a worrier. That's, Sam is. He's always worrying about some crazy thing happening or whatever.
Oh yeah, the world's always ending with.
That's true. See, I'm really glad that we had this conversation because now I feel a little bit more at ease. I'm not worried. Cool. All right. Well, what'd you come up here for? Just to say hello, or?
Yeah. I've been worried about but you're right. I shouldn't think about it. I should just enjoy my time.
Well, yeah. Trust me, I've got something going on to work, and we'll get the amount reduced, and we'll get the amount time extended out. Because there's no reason for them to kill you now. They want to get their money. So, just remember that. Maybe if you could contact your ancient relatives, and all that, because I bet they have a little bit more money. You don't need all the money. We just need some of the money, just a little bit to wet their whistle, give them hope that they're going to get more. That's what I'm thinking. Plus, I think our case proved that it was bogus. The case against you was bogus anyways, so... Yeah, don't worry about it.
Hell yeah! I hope we can get it reduced. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, royal dwarves, rich people, they never have to pay a full penalty. Are you kidding? It's just something that they put out there so that the low man, the working man, will feel that there's justice. But in reality, there isn't justice. I've learned that from my time in the courts, that for a rich person, there is no justice. They get away with everything. So, be thankful that you're actually of royal blood.
That cuts deep in real life.
I didn't know it's actually true in real life. The more money you have, the more you can get away with. Sorry, people in real world.
Okay. I'll just cry a little bit on the
Thank
on the
goodness I
inside.
have one.
Okay. Ren, you're downstairs. Also, can you do me a favor and slide over to your left? Okay, there you go. Because you're hiding behind your icon.
Yeah.
What would you like to do, Ren? Brock's and
I'm just,
go ahead.
yeah.
Yeah, Brock and Gilbert are upstairs.
I'm just gonna hang out. Yep, I'm hanging out. I'm not leaving the house. I want to make sure that Vrac and Brox are sort of in the same spot when Sam gets.
Okay. Villette and Sam, are you planning on heading over to House Kurgosler or?
Major tower from me first to return things.
Okay. Skyrail, trolley, or horse?
I'd probably. How long would it take on horse again? Like, hour and a half?
Better part of 2 hours. 3 hours from his house, from Matt's.
And the trolley would be like 2 silver, and that would be like half the time.
Close to a third, yeah, about an hour.
All right, we'll just do the trolley then.
Okay. All right, and then Brack, eating breakfast, hanging out. It sounds like Ren's kind of shuffling about in the downstairs. And do you think Brock's car is coming back down after a conversation with Gilbert? Anything in particular?
I plan
Froze out.
for food. He didn't ask me to do anything.
Okay. Cool. And then Sam, you said you were going back to Kurgosler's?
I'd said nothing of that sort just yet. I was looking through the field magic stuff to see if there was any way that I could basically make my house, explode if someone that I doesn't approve of comes in, but I can't without staying inside of the house.
Yeah. You can set contingencies, but right now the way your field's set up, it takes some time.
Yeah.
At least he knows that there's a problem instead of not knowing.
So what I might do instead is I don't know. I'll just go back to Kirk Osler's for right now.
Okay. All right. Villette, you make it to the Mage Ears Tower. You enter in. The clerk's standing there before you.
It's the Major Inn.
No, the Mage Ear is in Alderac. He's a part of the wedding party.
Is it okay if I go and leave a note on his desk?
Perfectly acceptable. You know where the office is located.
I do.
And a perfect chance for you to put this stuff back.
Exactly. So yeah, I head up to the office. Is my note still sitting, nicely folded, his name written on it on his desk?
Yeah, he's not it back.
Yoink! Spread them out, and then I'll write a new note stating, gist of it being that, I looked over your notes because it seemed like something Sam was researching as well. He's willing to meet as long as we can potentially procure certain scrolls for knowledge of him, and I have the details when needed. And then I would list the scrolls he wants, and then I'd probably
real quick. Were any of those scrolls 3rd level or lower, Sam?
two of them were 3rd level or lower. It was rope trick and counterspell.
So, Valette, knowing, being an enforcer and having an idea of the working process, the spells that will require major approval are the ones that are above 3rd level.
Okay.
You should be able to requisition and go and have scribes draw out the other scrolls.
Okay.
At no cost to you as an enforcer. It will take the better part of the morning, but you should be able to get at least that portion of it as a sign of good faith to Sam.
Okay. Then I would just ask about needing the. He was requesting the higher level spells then,
Okay.
that he was asking for.
Yeah, do you want me to send those to you in a side chat, John?
I'm okay with them. Basically, I'm giving you the 3rd level or lower ones.
Right.
So there was rope trick and that other one. So yeah, just that's fine. You can't defeat me with spells.
That's what John thinks.
Gosh, I hope.
And then the final thing would be about. It seems that I'm still being tracked by my old self, Agatha Steiner.
Mm-hmm.
And I would leave it there, seal it again, stamp it, leave it there, and then. And the last thing, probably, like, please page me when you're free.
Okay. As you're kind of leaving and sitting there with the scribe, basically, if you've ever waited for your oil to be changed or anything to that effect kind of happening, and you've just been bored out of your mind, you kind of just start to space out a bit. You're still conscious and aware of everything, but you just kind of like lose a sense of time. And for a moment there, you swear that you aren't in the conglomerate's office. You're somewhere else. And there are people in the same room as you. But there's nobody in the room with you when you focus back in. But for a moment there, you were kind of dazed out. And you feel like you were stepping past something. Moving beyond like a veil. Between you and something else.
I'm going, since I never do this often enough, I'm going to try and see if Divine Sense does anything to help enhance my senses.
Make just a religion check.
Alright.
With intelligence.
Alright. Where does roll 20? That would be a natural 1, so 2 total.
Okay.
Woo!
You're not sure. You feel like if you talk to somebody who's a bit more devout or focused on the white winds, the divine winds, such as Gilbert, you might be able to get some clarity. They might be able to try and assist you as to what might be happening here.
Okay. Cool. So once I get those scrolls, I will... I'll start. I guess I'll page in with. I'll actually page Gilbert. Establish those lines of communication.
This would be shortly after Broxgar's inquiry of you. Broxgar's probably leaving the room when your phone rings.
All right, I'd pick it up and say, "Hello, this is Gilbert."
Hello, Gilbert. It's Valette. I was just checking in to see where all of you were. I was about to try and meet up with you.
Well, I have Ren, Broxgar, and Brack over here at my manor. You're welcome to come over.
Okay. And one thing, in case your answer sheds insight that I might need to be where I'm at currently. And I explain the phenomenon of sort of like, while unfocused, sort of phasing through things with my perception and asking if he has any idea. Do you have any idea what this might be or could mean?
You can make an intelligence religion check based on what he's discussing, but you're not sure from the get-go.
Right. I'll just take a stab at it then. Intelligence, religion. Yeah, because religion's normally intelligence, right?
Mm.
Yep. Only a 7. Not so good.
Maybe the way Valette's explaining it over the phone isn't right. You might need to have like a bit more hands-on kind of focus as to what might be going on here.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. Maybe if we met in person, I could help you out with that.
Yes, no, understood. I'll meet up and see if I can better explain it when I get there.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Sam arrives about that time after your phone call's done and Broxgar's leaving your room.
All right. I guess I would go downstairs. Imagine my guards would tell me that he was there. And then I would say, Sam, how are you doing?
Muted.
Fine.
Fine. Well, it's good to see you here. Guess what? Vlad is coming, so we'll all be together again.
Great.
Don't sound so excited. I'm gonna have my
Don't say it.
I'm gonna have my people in the place fix up a meal for everybody, just like a lunch meal, something a little snacky. I'll try to get Brack out of the room for a while so they can actually put out food before he eats it. So,
Rhett, you'd be kind of watching from the corner, kind of in the same room, kind of paying attention. Anything in particular you want to ask about the scene? Any questions?
I'm just really paying attention mostly to Gilbert and how he's acting, and whether the sword is near him
Sword's
or
not on
just
his belt.
that kind of. Okay,
The sword is not on his belt.
right. Do I know where it is? Have we seen it?
You don't see it.
Okay.
when I realize it's not on my belt, I'm gonna run back upstairs to get it.
Okay. You grab a hold of
So I'll
it,
say, oh, just a minute.
put it back on your belt, and head back downstairs.
Say, I don't know. I'm leaving this around. Never happened with Cranebeak. I don't know. Weird. I'm mumbling that to myself. All right.
Okay. Eventually, you arrive. Sam, are you going straight to the basement after you get there, or are you waiting for somebody?
I'm actually not going to go to the basement. I'm going to... Where's Vrak? Is he in the kitchen right now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm just going to go and sit down near Vrak for the time being. Not saying anything, just sitting there.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Cool.
Obviously want to be next to somebody who might be able to protect you if stuff goes south. I get it. Makes sense. Let's see. So then, to let you arrive on the scene, everybody's there besides you.
Real quick, Sam, I had to put in a request of the Major for the other things, of a more higher level than that, but these ones I was able to procure myself for you. And I hand him over the scrolls he requested.
Cool. I instantly take out the rope trick one and just shove that in my spellbook using that
The book,
ability of the spellbooks.
the book devours it, and it's inside of the book now.
Does he do that in front of us?
Man,
I've done it in front of you before.
Well, I more specifically mean the fact that I look at you, I'm like, Sam, what the heck? You're dealing with the Majir now? Has hell frozen over? What the hell? Has this whole world gone insane?
You know what?
You know
This
this
probably won't work, but I'm going to reach over and I'm going to touch Gilbert's head and I'm going to try to modify his memory so that he does not remember those 2 minutes.
Oh man!
okay. Okay, no,
Wow.
that's
It's a
fine.
wisdom saving throw, so it might not work. But
Gilbert, make a wisdom saving throw.
Great, guys.
I really hope this works.
One.
Oh,
Damn it.
Make a save there.
that would have
21.
been so good.
So
That would have
Gilbert,
been so perfect.
he touches you, and you feel him cast a spell, and you immediately realize that it's something that's kind of entering into your mind, and you kind of
Right.
shunt it away.
Oh, guess what? Also, gnomes have
Would've been
advantage on spells that affect wisdom, intelligence, or charisma. So I double saved on it. I would look at you and slap your hand off you and be like, "What the hell, man? Why are you doing this? Is this really you, Sam?" And I look over at
Either
Valette.
that, or I cast fireball on you.
You
Now
hear-
shut up.
You hear this voice in the back of your head, Gilbert. It says, "He
Yeah.
wants to usurp you. He wants to take everything that you have."
Gilbert, I don't. I see it as Sam is just going to use the conglomerate for as much as they suit his purposes. This is the forerunning. This is him potentially trying to further establish his position within his gang and solidify their power. He has made no promises as of yet. This is just me trying to curry favor for him. And I figure might as well, since if I can procure things for him to help him, it goes towards me establishing trust with him.
So maybe it's you that's changed. That doesn't sound like you at all, you know? I mean, you're really reaching out here to Sam, and it sounds like you're putting your own self at risk, because if Sam's not really into it, you know,
Well,
what's the deal then? Explain
I mean,
that to me.
how much of our current situation is kind of my fault to begin with? So,
Come on,
She makes a
Colette.
great point.
Stop that loser attitude. You are with Kergosler's heroes, you know. We're only as strong as our weakest link, so don't be our weekest link. Come on. You are
It's a hard
strong.
contest to beat that.
So, wait, the weakest link is the leader? What? The one we're named after? No, I'm kidding.
No, wait a minute.
I'm kidding. I was just kidding.
Don't even say that.
I was just kidding.
That's
I
not
was just kidding.
Don't give Sam any ideas of what he could say. No, so Valette, no, really though. Stop beating yourself up. You're a good member of this group of heroes. Don't belittle yourself, especially not in front of me. A leader won't stand for that bullshit.
Gilbert, while I appreciate you trying to lift my spirits, it's not about putting myself down, but taking ownership for my mistakes. I
Well,
was
this
the
is-
one who let slip to the Lich. That turned out to be one of these anti-Esper holders. I was the one that let slip that the Mage's Tower was unguarded, which allowed the demon to go in and corrupt the Espers, which created this whole split thing. Those are things that I did. Mistakenly, unbeknownst to me at the time, what the grander repercussions, but I did it.
Well, that is true. And I'm glad you've taken responsibility, because it takes a big person to take responsibility for the mistakes. But we shouldn't dwell on the past. Let's move forward.
I agree. To
Hey.
that, though, well, Sam, do you? Well, first I'll try to better explain what was happening to me in the tower earlier, and I try to re-explain and try to be as descriptive as possible of as it
Yep.
consciousness seemed to fade out.
Sam, make an intelligence arcana check. Ren, make an intelligence check with advantage. And Vrack, make an intelligence check with advantage.
Do it, guys.
I got a 15.
Just straight intelligence?
With advantage, correct.
Ooh, it's advantage. Nice. Ooh,
Yeah.
good one.
So, Vrack, inside of the wood, you had some dealings with elves, and basically what they're describing to, what Valette's describing right now, sounds very similar to a description of what the elves told you they did instead of sleep, which is trancing. They enter into a state of kind of etherealness, and their consciousness connects with their linked consciousness in the Feywild, also known as the Shazas. And it's kind of a tethered connection back to that old world. Ren, needless to say, this is something you do every day. Valette describing it as it's being described doesn't sound too unfamiliar to you. The strange part about it is that there seems to be other people present. It's not terribly uncommon, since you are kind of linked genealogically in your sleeps, your trances. When you connect to the Feywild, you're kind of close to other members of your immediate family. So that said, it sounds very similar to what you go through every day. You feel like the two of you combined, with some kind of pep talk and kind of assistance, might be able to help Valette enter into a trance-like state if she's able to work with you and kind of focus in without becoming distracted.
Ooh, interesting. So I would say that and suggest that we go to a quiet room so we're not disturbed and try to do that.
Okay?
Yes. Let's.
The quietest place in this house is the basement.
Oh, okay.
All right. Brack, are you going to join them for meditation? You can reply in text.
Yeah, why not?
Okay, that works too. Good.
Yeah,
We'll kick aside the wine bottles and walk our way
I'm
down.
hearing like 90% of the words y'all are saying.
Fair enough. So you descend down into the basement, kind of pushing away the table a little bit, kind of settling down. Not inside the magic circle, but just outside of it. And you begin to kind of focus and trying to explain to Valette what Valette needs to do to kind of reach this meditative state. And Brack, you played at this before. It's something that kind of helped you get through a lot of the bad days when you were being migrated from your homeland to the Pyramid of Souls, being kind of beaten and defeated emotionally.
Yeah, I imagine it helps a lot with like pain tolerance too and all that stuff.
For sure. But it's something you haven't done in a while. Like, ever since you've kind of broken away from the pyramid, it hasn't been necessary. So it's kind of a strange... Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I said I'm agreeing.
Okay. So these two individuals are basically explaining how to do it. And over the course of, about half an hour or so, the three of you manage to kind of enter into your own transient states. Ren, you've done this 1,000 times before. Every day you've lived. And you kind of enter into the state, no problems. Feels fine. Feels like something you've done before. It's as easy as sleeping. Brack, when you enter into this state, you have this weird kind of moment where you feel like you're being drawn out by a forceful grasp out of the basement, through the house, up above the city, and then pushed to the north to Red Wheel. You recognize the area that you're being kind of dragged to. You remember where Balin's watch was, and the mountain that sat beside it. You're being pulled to that monastery, high up on the hill. You don't know why, but you know where it is, and you feel like you're being kind of slammed down into the courtyard. The meditation feels like it only lasts a couple seconds to you, but in truth it lasts the better part of 2 hours once you're done with the meditative state. And I will recite that to you if you didn't get it all. Valette, when you first enter into the transient state, you feel like you drop away, and instead you are no longer you. You are you from a past self. You're standing around in what appears to be some sort of kind of small room, possibly an inn room, and you seem to be looking through eyes that are not your own. Seated in the corner, not on a chair, just kind of placed in the whole corner, is a massive gray-skinned Goliath. Resting against the wall next to him is a solid iron wall of a blade. His arms are crossed, his eyes are closed, and he's just kind of sitting there. Sitting on the edge of the bed, next to yours, is a tabaxi. Red clothing, metal claws on his fingertips, strange red cap, kind of looking over at you, talking. And then it seems like he kind of stops, and you feel like you were in the middle of a sentence, but you don't remember what you were talking about. You don't have the same memories as wherever you were, but you're kind of here now? The one you know as Shadow kind of looks at you and says, "What's wrong, Agatha? You alright?"
Okay, I'm trying to think of how I reply to this. Something peculiar.
As you are kind of trying to kind of come up with a deceit, make a deception check just for the base. You also notice that as that conversation is beginning, Grun's eyes are opening. Solid black eyes inside, set in his irises.
Deception. Where is the deception? Oh, there it is. 23.
Wow.
Okay. You see Grun kind of look over to you, and you kind of spill out your explanation. And Grun closes his eyes, and kind of settles back to the blade. Shadow kind of nods his head, taking whatever explanation you had. And he says, "Of course. Yeah, that makes sense. So, just a couple more days and we'll be in Rostagar. Don't understand why we're having to travel by land." Looks over at Grun. Then he kind of leans in and whispers to you, "We could probably kill him if we work together, don't you think?"
You strike first.
Do it.
How will I know you'll come to my aid and not his?
You don't.
I suppose I'll hold. He's a stronger ally to have than to not. And he's also my meal ticket to seeing Ren again.
You do have a fascination with that one.
Yeah, a lot of myself in that one, to be sure. A lot of bad choices were made. A lot of missteps were made in my life. And only in my later years was I able to understand all of the rewards I had reaped. You should know a familiar circumstance. Your soul was pushed down by your goodliness, and your good form walks around in a better body than yours.
Yes, it is.
When you hear him say that, you kind of, better body than mine, and you kind of look down at your hands. You can see that the skin is kind of loosely hanging on the shell of the Undaunted underneath. You kind of look up and see that there's a mirror just across from you set on a vanity, and you can see that the flesh is kind of hanging off of the Undaunted shell underneath. You see Valette's old body, and where you smashed your face against the wall, and all of the damage that you did to yourself in the pyramid still lingers. She wears a hood that seems to be thrown back, and as you kind of look into the mirror, you can see, in horror, that she is walking around in your old body.
Oh, that is so... Oh, gosh. Wow. I'm curious if that would be enough to, like, jolt me out or not.
Make a wisdom saving throw.
I'm actually really good at it. 28.
Yeah, you feel that you can
You fail.
you can linger, but you're also wise enough to understand that lingering might present a problem. So if you wish to forfeit your position here, I mean, it's not like you don't know how to re-enter it at a later time.
Yeah.
But if you wish to forfeit your position here, that's fine.
I think I would, because I don't... It's like... I've gotten by so far with my lies, but anymore, and I might find myself in a place where it becomes obvious something's wrong. And if we can hold this advantage from them, it works for us.
Okay.
So I let go of the trance.
All right.
Come back to body.
You snap back into reality. Rack very shortly after, and Ren kind of easily, the one who's the most set in between both positions, is still conscious of the world as Ren is trancing, kind of drops the meditation.
Grun, Agatha, and Shadow are on their way to Rastagar. They come by land.
This is happening now. Ren says with alarm.
When I trance, I then assume sight through Agatha. I had a conversation with Shadow, trying to keep up the deception of not knowing where I was going with whatever I was talking about before. But they're on their way.
What do they want with us?
I I did not think it. I did, since it was all so sudden. I wasn't able to be fully prepared to try and ferret out information while making it seem natural, and I didn't want to give away this potential advantage we now have.
So Ren is starting to seem visibly upset right now. He stands up. He starts pacing around the room, kind of looking down at the floor. He kind of doesn't know what to do with himself.
Okay, taking a couple of minutes. There's a few moments of silence. Rack, do you interject anything during these couple of moments of quiet here? No.
Not that I don't trust Gilbert or Brox in a fight, but since their espers aren't on the same side as ours, it might be best to keep this from them.
Yeah, I'm
know
not. Brox's sword is gone, is it not? He didn't take the evil sword, did he? His turn was deactivated. It's really Gilbert's that's the worry.
True. But yeah, so already it seems like Agatha is still tethered to me as well. While I was at Sam's earlier, and since I guess I'd spent the night, she was able to appear before me and now knows of the location of his tower. He was quite put out with me with that, and I can understand why. But I don't know what we can do next or what trap we might lay to for them, but it definitely does not seem that they are as united as we might be. Shadow talked of, and probably due to it being his sin, betraying Grun. He asked for my help, which I just let on as long as he took the first cut, and there's a chance we may be able to get them, if we're smart enough about it, possibly cause infighting amongst them.
But they are quite powerful. He felled me with one blow. We should all fight together, and that might ultimately mean Gilbert and Brox too.
I like I said, I trust Gilbert in a fight with us, but information, I don't know if he has much say over whether he can keep it secret from them.
Yeah. Yes.
So
we really, we need to talk with Sam and get a plan.
Especially as we just found out about the location of the third pyramid.
Okay, so towards the end of your meditation and then discussion afterwards, as you're kind of breaking away from the conversation and thinking about it, you have this flashback to you looking in the mirror and seeing the old body. You then realize that this isn't a flashback, this is current. It doesn't seem that Shadow's in the room anymore. And you have this looming shadow kind of standing over your figure. This massive gray hand reaches around your throat, and you feel your form and your soul breaking as the hand squeezes. You notice dangling from a blackened chain that seems to be dug into the flesh of this gray hand, this dark black kind of gray hand. There's a gemstone hanging from it, similar to the gemstone that resided in the cradle of Yen Lauren's staff. You feel the severing of your soul from Agatha, as Agatha's soul no longer exists.
So wait, Grun killed Agatha? Is that the idea?
That's the presumption that you would probably make based on the information that's been relayed.
Vallette and Slight has an utter look of shock on her face. It appears that my trance has led to fighting already. Run has possibly just
By the
killed
way,
Agatha.
real quick note: lock in that blue background. By the way,
Wait, what?
that blue background's pretty locked in. Anyway,
Oh.
sorry to cut it. Go ahead, continue.
It seems that Run did not buy my lies and has just killed Agatha.
Well, you know what they say: no honor among thieves. Now there's one less of them to fight us.
Hey, to be fair, they weren't on a muted.
No,
You're
you were
good.
You were good. Now you're muted.
I've been
That was
trying to keep
hilarious.
myself muted because I've
Switch
been
it.
coughing.
Priceless.
Anyway,
The look on his
Moving on from
face.
that. To be fair, they're not thieves. They're murderers. There's a
Shut-
difference.
Shadow's a thief, and maybe he sold Agatha out.
No, but he became evil and became an assassin, not a thief.
Is that right?
I don't
I have
know.
no idea.
All right. In any case, yeah.
So, you guys reconvene back upstairs with the information that you have. Real quick, just to check the waters here. Vrac, Zach, can you hear me all right?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And you seem to be coming in clear, so that works. Is there anything that you wanted to interject after the meditation session, after the words that are said there, just to catch up?
No, I'm on board with going. We're going and attacking them, right? That's what I got. This is the main.
The idea was possibly seeing about laying a trap to fight them, yes. But we don't know when they're going to get
but
here.
Either
but
way,
they're on their
you know.
way.
Okay, yeah, but we're set up a trap. I'm on
Yeah,
board.
the house is a good place to stay because if I remember correctly, Gilbert's house has fortifications while he's in it.
Correct.
Yes, magical bonuses.
That's if the witch lady doesn't just let them in.
The Rhyme Witch. Yeah.
The Rhine witch.
Then we'd know what's what.
Are you guys talking to us about this? Are we talking about this in,
Mhm.
in character?
This would have been still in basement.
Okay.
Valette is hesitant to let you know only because you're connected to the Rhine witch about
Right.
my trancing that just happened.
And Ren would say that, I hear you, but this is the time when everyone needs to be united, and we need the special abilities that Gilbert has to protect the house.
Yes, God save the Queen and all that.
Wait, I didn't hear that. Could you repeat that, Ren?
No, no,
I just didn't hear it. I coughed.
no.
Okay, fine. You know what? I was wondering. I am starting to wonder what's going on. Hey, since you guys are my friends and my heroes and all this, I feel I could tell you this. But I'm starting to wonder what's going on with my Esper. Do you guys ever have problems with your Esper?
No, Gilbert, we haven't.
Well,
I
I'm
hear
wondering
there's
what's going on.
medication for that bull.
Number one, she's not talking to him anymore. Number two, she keeps disappearing from my side, and I have her on, and I know I have her on, and then pretty soon she's laying over on the bed. Number three, I'm unable to harness the power of my Esper, so I'm kind of concerned about that. I want to know what you guys would think. What do you think about
Maybe she just doesn't like you the way that the rest of us just don't like you, eh, brother?
She's just not that into you.
Frack. Come on, man. That's not even a funny joke. Stick to being cool and tough.
I let you sleep under my dining room table.
Come on,
Eat all
man.
my food.
Stick to eating the food. You're great at that.
Gilbert,
Ugh.
have you at all? Has there been anything significant about when you've noticed these things happen?
I don't know. You know what? Actually, to be honest, it got worse. My relationship with her got worse ever since I didn't just kill people randomly with no reason.
So Ren would sort of jump into the conversation and say, well, two things. Maybe that's because, Gilbert, she's evil. And two, can you look at your side? Do you see your sword?
Sword's not
It
present.
should be. It's not present. I just
No.
went upstairs and got it a while ago.
Not there.
The
So
damn
you don't seem to
thing.
have much control over this thing. That really worries us.
It worries me too, because what's the use of having power if you can't control it?
I
Wise
I'd like
words,
to say-
Gilbert.
I'd like to say, if no one heard me snort right there, that was exactly what Sam did. Just snort,
I
laugh
heard you
at Gilbert.
snort. We heard you snort. What would you say? What should I do? I mean, it would be crazy for me to try to give this up to the Majir or something. It'd be
Lock it away and never use it again.
That doesn't seem like a good idea either. What if it came in handy right when I really needed it? You know, what if it's that type of a thing? It just wants to be handy when you really need it.
Well, Ren would say, much of the power of the Esper Edges is when we use them together for the dual techniques, and I don't know if I see myself doing that with your Esper. It just doesn't
But-
seem.
Gilbert, we failed you once. I'm making it a point to not fail any of you again. Don't trust in this weapon that seems fickle and doesn't care about your well-being. Trust us, your friends, that we will try to be there for you in your hour of need, to fight with you side by side.
Yeah, Ren stands next to Valette and makes baby Yoda eyes at that stage.
Oh,
Ears.
what do you think, Brox? You're very pragmatic.
Muted.
I don't know.
How about this? How about I try to keep the weapon by my side, and hopefully when the time comes, I'll know what to do with it. What do you think?
I don't see as what I would caution against is placing trust in it to always be there for you, because it seems like it's already being fickle. But yes, use it as it can, I guess, and just if that's what you need to cast your spells, have a backup, just in case.
Well, actually, I don't need it to cast my spells, but normally my other Esper had a lot of power, and could do all sorts of things with it. But am I still attuned to this Esper, John?
Yeah.
Would I know? Okay, I'm still. What if I unattune to it? I'll do that experiment tonight, and we'll see what happens. So that kind of makes me worry a little bit, actually. What could happen?
Gilbert unattunes to his weapon. Gilbert dies.
Yeah, it chops my head off. It flies and.
Also,
That's what I'm
this has
worried
been
about.
something I've been wondering, but I don't know if it's even possible. And it seems like she's not talking to you, but is it possible to maybe turn these anti-espers from their own sin? I know currently they are the embodiment of them, but is it possible to try and figure out what caused the Realm Witch to embrace vanity and encourage her to give it up?
Well, I think she was awesomely powerful, so there's that. And who wouldn't be vain if they're awesomely powerful, you know?
But
She could summon huge ice storms that would basically cause flying objects to crash. Stuff like that.
Sam, you get a sense that something's happened down in the basement. Something's
Cool.
happened inside of the magic symbol room.
Uh-oh.
I head down there.
You're greeted in the main room of the basement by the blonde-haired woman that you met out in the sands near the Black Pyramid at Einkarn. She kind of looks up to you. You left the gate open.
Fine. Get back in and I'll make sure to close it.
No. We had much more to discuss, and you ran away.
I didn't run, I walked. It was very easy to tell. See, running, your legs go like that. Walking, they go more like that.
I do so enjoy the semantics of a gutter mage. She chuckles. But not what I came for. It's not important. If you wish to walk away some more, and not be privy to a conversation with an equal, then fine. So be it. But I'm more interested in stopping things that are happening now.
Oh, trust me. You'd have to look so far above you to find me your equal.
You're adorable. She snaps her fingers and you watch as Grisel's field reappears in the house. Mine.
Wait, like Grisel's field reappears in the house as in like
Gilbert's house is now my house.
Right. Okay. Just wanted to make sure I understood that correctly.
You're pretty sure that the tinging wasn't so much the appearance of her, it was her manipulating the house. So, now that I'm the master of this house, will you please have a conversation with me regarding the upcoming destruction of many, many an innocent people? Or do we fight? Is this where we fight now?
I don't know. Do we fight? Is that what we're going to do?
I don't know, you peasant. If that's what you want to do.
I mean, dear gosh, you've just like... You treat me so kindly. Why wouldn't I want to fight?
So high above me, he said.
Yeah, that's because you were already acting like an ass.
So are you. She turns and she crosses her arms.
I mean, if you really want to talk, you can go ahead and talk.
Great. Do your notes show the location of the third pyramid or not? Have you figured it out? Or did I overestimate you?
So, as she's saying that...
Her?
Well, hold on a second. I don't have 6th level spell. No, wait. I should have a 6th level spell. We're level 11 now, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, for some reason it's got me at level 10. That explains a lot.
So you cast it at her, right?
Yeah,
You watch
sure.
that form vanish, and then you watch her walk out of the same chamber that she just walked out of, and she smiles. You're an illusionist, aren't you? You should do better at this.
Shoot.
Ah, well, worth a shot.
I suppose it's a waste of time. I won't I'll count that as your one warning fire. If you want to try again, I will destroy you and everyone in this house. Or you can help me find out how you and I can go to Jernaris. It's the closest place we can get to. It's right off the coast.
You do realize it's just really weird and creepy for someone to just appear with good advice and know exactly what I'm interested in. You know, the last time that happened, it was my mother, and that's because I was a baby crying. And do you know what I wanted? I'll give you a hint.
There are nearly 1 billion people in this continent. You think you're the only person who knows what's coming based on the signs above you?
No, I'm just the only one that I know of.
That can't be true. You have to have told other people. Other people have to have had notes.
I've told other people. There are other people with notes, sure.
Well, I'm
But still.
also... She shakes her head. Look, can you, using your portal here, teach me how to get to Jernaris? If you can do that, I will leave you alone. I can go about it myself. If you're not interested in finding out what the Pyramid of Light really is, fine. Stay here, in your basement.
Okay, John, out of curiosity, and I was going to ask this regardless of this happening, out of the portals that I know, is there one that would take, or well, actually no, this one goes to the old Hisric.
Yeah, you've been there before.
Right. So yeah, there are ones that do take me near there.
Yeah, it's right in the barn house, a barn
Right.
just south of the capital city. So can you send me there or not?
Sure. All right, John. I'm going to open up that.
Okay. She takes a couple seconds after you start drawing in the signs, and she just kind of crosses her arms. Come on, stop wasting both of our time. I don't know the exact sigils, but I know that that's not going to take me where I want to go.
That was worth a shot. Do I know? Are the others around somewhere, or
They haven't come after you, so far no.
well,
She-
my question was like, were any of them in the basement still, or anything like that?
no, they all went upstairs and started talking. I'm presuming you walked out of the conversation as it was getting boring. But she,
I mean, it was.
she kind of leans down and kind of looks at you. Okay. What do I have to do to prove to you that our goals are in alignment? What is necessary?
Prove to me beyond a shadow of a doubt that you're not evil.
I can't do that. Depending on your definition of evil. Do you mean evil in the classical sense? In reference to, like, the Shedim and the evil gods that warred against the good gods? Prior to the Covenant of the Ascended, when it was a wildlands? Or do you mean that I'm out for myself and self-serving? I am self-serving. That's why I don't want the world that I live on to be destroyed.
Yeah, I'm more talking like, basically I'm just trying to come up with some sort of impossible task that you can't accomplish. It's pretty much what I'm saying.
If your key is to hinder me here, and you're not going to assist me, then fine. Just say that outright. Be honest about it. Be upfront.
But it's more entertaining this way.
Is it? I don't really understand your bar crawling humor, or your haystack sense of cunning. I apologize.
It's basically, I just don't know you. I don't trust you.
And
Why do I think that you're in a line with anything that I'm with?
The
just-
only thing I know about you is that you were given a choice at the Pyramid of Shadows, and you made it. And if I were in your shoes, it would have been the same choice. You say, am I evil? Yes. I am evil in the sense that I am self-serving. I do not want to be anyone's servant. I do not want to be bound by anything. And she says that as she pulls out the Esper Edge and tosses it on the ground, broken in half.
What?
Can you take me to where I want to go, or not?
Alright. I'll admit that's a bit of a curveball I wasn't seeing. That being said, currently, no, I'm still not going to do that. That being said, if you want to follow me upstairs and meet the other people that I cohort with, or whatever you want to call it, slumhort, or whatever,
How long do you suppose this will take?
fine. I don't know. They're somewhat stupid sometimes, so it can take a while for them to get anything done.
And if if I do this for you and meet with your friends, you promise that you'll take me back down here and send me on my way to Old Heisrick, or as close to it as you can pinpoint, and not. She kind of looks back down at the markings on the ground. Fucking asshole. She looks back to you. You're a dick.
Yeah, and
Do you promise? Do I have your
Fine.
word
I'll get you as close as possible.
as a whatever you are? Fine. Let's go meet your friends.
Okay, so Sam comes out of the basement with a pretty blonde girl following him.
The woman in question is wearing kind of a soft blue colored garb, robe slash kind of dress, long and very kind of open sleeves, hair and curls with some ribbons throughout. She looks to you all just blankly and unconcerned. Hi.
John, were we ever? We never necessarily saw all the other anti-Esper
Just
wielders
give her names.
before. Okay. Hello.
She doesn't appear to have a weapon on her, though, if that's helpful.
Right.
This is. I forgot your name.
Yeah, I'm trying to find my notes. It's been almost a month. Hold on. Bear with me.
Bertha.
No, it's not
I was going
that.
to say Susan, but you know.
Oh wait.
It
If we have
sh-
names, I might have it too.
Yeah, it should be.
Oh, where's Lust? Not Morgan. Not Agatha. Not Grun. It's not.
Oh boy, if you get it, you may get.
I think it's the one I don't. Was it Galen Ethro? Was the
Hold on.
anti-Esper? Because that's the only name I never recorded.
Yeah. Hold on.
I'm sticking with Susan.
Susan, it is.
Inari? No, that's not right.
No, Inari is the inside. Let's see. No, yeah, so it's Morgan.
Ooh, you got it then. That's what you
Oh.
said. You said
Okay,
Morgan.
so it's Denari, Rainbow, Morgan, location Raskar, cut you into from a distance.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wait a minute.
That seems like that seems like the lady that.
Yeah, that's the one that's fighting with. That's Greed.
So it's not Morgan.
No.
Can we just make up a name?
No, it is the lust one is spirit wise. Hold on a second. The lust one is it's Iron Hand Bonnie, and she was the one who didn't tell you shit.
Oh, I have Iron Man body as Lust. Okay.
Is that right?
Or Sloth. I have Iron Man body as Sloth, but I might have been wrong.
Oh, that can't be. Wait a minute here. Who do you have down as per lust?
I don't have. I didn't have Lust written
Then
down
if-
for necessarily anyone.
Because Galen was.
The only one I don't have.
Do you have envy?
Go ahead.
Yeah, you have envy.
You
do have envy, right?
The only ones I have are that I know that I have a associated sin are wrath, greed, oppression, gluttony, and then I guess Grun would have been whatever the Dream Shard sin was.
Yeah, which would have been Galen Ed Thou. And yeah, no, Iron Hand Body is lust.
Oh, okay. So Shiriad Heth is not with Grun. That's something different. Okay.
Oh no. You're right. Galen Ed Thou's lust. Got it.
Okay.
Found my notes. Yes, Galen Ed Thou is lust. Correct.
Cool.
Lust for power.
Galen.
Yep. Cool.
Alright. And I think he was the one we ran out of time, and that might have been why, is we couldn't actually get information. We ran out of
Correct.
board.
and you went to everybody who was important, and he was standing next to a Shariad. He was basically second from the last, and then at the very top end, it was Cardiff, and next to Cardiff was my brain went Tim Tebow, but that's not even close. Pockets. Why would my brain?
Tim Tebow and Pockets?
I don't know. Anyways, I don't know who that is even in real life. I'm sure he's a sports ball player.
This guy goes
I
like
think he
this.
plays baseball now.
All right, sounds great.
Yeah. Florida. Was he from Florida?
Not terribly important. Good notes are good to have. I should have actually prepared that part and found them, though. We're good for moving on. Okay, great. So, yeah, Galen Edtha would have been the keeper of the weapon. And the woman here got the other notes. I'm the best note taker, you guys. Her name is
Susan.
It was Susan. Yep, that's right. Yeah, good notes. Magdalena is her first name. It's the only name that she gives out.
Cool.
All right, and so since I don't know anything about Magdalena, I would just say, and how did you come across the basement?
Well, me and Sam met in Einkarn when he went there by himself without any of you. And we had a conversation outside of a ancient pyramid. He elected not to unleash the demon within it, even with me berating him to do so. And when he left, he made the mistake of not closing the seal, because I don't think it's one that he can, and I was able to follow him home.
I honestly just forgot to.
Also, this might not be terribly important. Who was the former ruler of this house?
I am the master of this house.
No.
My name is Gilbert Kergosler.
Nah, so that's over. I currently have control of your house. And... Huh. You're with the Rhine Witch? Murgen Malthenderoth? And looks over to the others. Why are you with him? Why are you working together? What have I missed?
That's a very good question.
I haven't known since we met him.
Huh. Well, interesting bedfellows, I suppose. Interesting indeed. Yes, I formerly wielded a Esper Edge, but I have broken that weapon and discarded it. It's in your basement if you want it. I don't care too much for it. Well, I'm sorry. Apologies. My basement.
If I have your leave, I'd like to go retrieve it right now.
Enjoy.
I go grab it because I kind of want to compare it to like the other ones that are broken to see what happened.
Sure. It's 2 pieces of metal. It looks like it was formerly a short sword of the gladius variety. It's not solid stone. When you take it up, it feels like cold steel.
All right. I mean, I can't cast detect magic currently, so.
Okay.
Actually. Okay. So I bring it upstairs, and as I come upstairs, I will. I guess as I hit this, before I walk out of the door, I'm going to divine sense to see if I can see.
You see everybody's espers present and accounted for, with the exception of the Rhine Witch, who is not here.
Mm-hmm.
And she does not appear to have an esper upon her person, nor does she manifest celestial, fey, or anything else that triggers off of sense.
So I basically say, like, she's clear on these accounts.
And she kind of
She
looks
doesn't
over
seem
your
like an
shoulder. It's very rude to do to somebody in their own house. Continually looking over at Gilbert with a smirk.
I apologize for my rudeness.
It's fine, I'm simply jesting. So, I was instructed to greet and meet with you, and then your friend Sam would help me along my way. I have more important...
Yeah, so she Yeah, so she wants to go to. Where was it again? You said it was that place with that
Old
thing.
Heistrick, or as close to or near as you can get me. You see,
Right, wants to go there because of that light pyramid that we discussed the other day, Valet.
she pulls out a journal, leather bound. It appears to have kind of a reddish tinge to it, and she kind of opens it with one hand to a specific page, holds it up, and you can see that there are kind of like arcane drawings and markings. You can see that in the median of the page, there's kind of like a star drawn on the 2 pages, and across the 2 pages, a triangle with points that are triangles, and it's very neatly and arcanely drawn with draconic markings all throughout. And she says, somewhere in this city there's a pyramid called the Pyramid of Souls. Somewhere to the north of here in Einkarn, as Sam and I have seen, is a place called the Pyramid of Shadows. And somewhere off the coast of Old Heistrick, there's a place called the Pyramid of Light. I feel like if I can find it, I might understand what it holds, knowing full well that the Pyramid of Shadows holds Humbaba, the Demon Prince of Gluttony, and your city's Pyramid of Souls holds the Demon Prince of Corruption.
But just kind of looks over at Sam like, you can talk because I'm not going to this time.
Right. So anyway, she wants to go there and do things with that pyramid. I don't necessarily trust her, so who wants to tag along with me and make sure that, if evil happens, we can stop it, yada yada yada.
A few questions. One, why are you encouraging him to release Humbaba at this Pyramid of Shadows? And two, what is your intent when you get to the Pyramid of Light?
Similar to my jests towards your gnome friend, a test of measure, a test of will, a test of goal. If you're weak-willed and unworthy, then what's the point of keeping you around or paying attention to you? Sam possesses something that I need, knowledge, and also access to a series of gateways that could be very helpful. And that's why I tested him.
Because I should ask, can I just insight?
Yeah, go nuts.
All right.
I'll go with you, Sam.
So
If I get control of my
23.
house back.
the 23, you would note that she seems to be forthwith. She seems to be really aggravated right now and kind of annoyed. Like, you're all just a waste of her time. And so when she's dispensing the information, it seems like she's rattling it off. She might be missing beats, but it doesn't sound like there's anything that's like grounded inside of her discussion here, or inside of basically her discussion of her plan, that's like nefarious. It just sounds like she's kind of skating through the details.
Like, let's hurry this up so we can get to what I want to do.
Let's get me through the portal.
Yeah. And the Pyramid of Light, what are your plans there?
To find out what's inside of it. My hope is that it's a celestial and something that can combat the 2 other pyramids. I don't have a lot of details on it precisely because it hasn't been seen since the Third Age, when it was seen high above what's known as the Sea of Solid Flames. And so I don't know. I don't know, and it's there are answers there that I need.
So, Vrak, per our prior discussion, would you be okay with this detour? I know that you seemed eager with that other objective, but this may be more important than that.
Only heard like half of that.
Valette is hinting at, without saying, are you okay with going to the Pyramid of Light instead of trying to set up a trap for people coming? Like, she doesn't want to say that in front of Gilbert.
I
But...
guess. As long as we're doing so, I'm getting bored and anxious.
Then I am all for heading out to, no offense, but make sure that you're up to nothing ill, and also see if this can help us as well.
So I wasn't really hoping for a large retinue of um, wine drinkers. Um,
I mean, to be fair, he, and I point towards Brox, usually drinks stronger stuff wine.
the only person who gets the reference
So does he.
is Gilbert. As a noble, the term wine drinkers is used amongst the nobility to refer to people who, in their times of desperation, will drink the wine to basically kind of deal with social situations, or in a more like dark kind of dark humor kind of way, will lace their wine with something to basically kind of walk in towards an end. Wine drinker is typically a term used in nobility to refer to someone who's weak-willed. And she says, it's fine if you all want to come with me, but I have a request. And it's one I unfortunately cannot shirk on. If you aren't willing to do this, then I think our interaction and exchange is at an impasse and concluded. As you've seen, I've broken the weapon that was granted to me by misfortune. Some of you may feel that your weapons are boons, as some of the others in my side of the choir would have thought. And that's great. But if you wish to come with me to where I'm going, she points to the sword that's in Valette's hands, the broken one. You must do as I do. Break your blades.
Oh my
Or not.
god. Oh my goodness.
Can I sort of look to the blade and see if Byako says anything?
Doesn't seem like they're manifesting at this stage. Muted.
Wow.
Joe's talking to somebody.
Hello?
Hi. Were you talking at
Hey.
me?
No.
No, you villain. Too cool for school. Alright.
It sounds like you're ready. Brock's gonna leave.
Okay.
We only caught part of what you said.
He doesn't want any. He's not doing it.
It's a big nope.
Looks over to Sam and says, just send me on my way. If you want
Fine,
to
dear.
come, that's fine. But you know what you have to do. It's something you've been thinking about doing anyways. It's holding you back.
To be fair, I never thought about broking it. Just ditching it in the sea somewhere.
Yeah. Like, for me, it is nothing more than a boat anchor holding you down.
Yeah, anyway, come on, let's go downstairs.
Alright?
I will follow them down, but I'm there for support for Sam and hopefully like be a last will like, Sam, don't do it if he wants like he's about to like break the Esper. Or at least be witness to what happens.
So you go downstairs and spend a few more hours working on the soul portal glyphing. Are you sending her to the right location? Are you trying to make any tricks, traps, or anything?
No, not trying to make any tricks or traps right now.
She steps into the wheel before entering into the soul portal, and you see her kind of move her fingers about on the field, and she kind of dissipates the field once again, so that it's no longer present. And then she looks at you and says, "A kindness for a kindness. Good luck
Right.
with yours." And she steps through the portal.
So, the funny thing is, she said she didn't want us to go with her. She didn't say anything about us going to the same place on our own initiative.
Do you think outside of a layer of sorts we can take her if we need to?
I don't know. Maybe. It's toss up.
Well, if we were planning on heading there anyway, I guess we should head out, correct?
Probably. Give her like, 10, 15 minutes to get a head start.
Can we bring the bike through this portal?
Yeah. But one thing to note, I'm gonna go ahead and move you to a map. So,
I'm gonna get my sword to bring along with me.
do you see that there are 3 pyramid markers on the board?
I see one of them. Two of them. Yeah, I see the third
Oh,
one.
it's in the sea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's in the sea.
It's gonna be one hell of a bike ride.
I mean,
Yep.
if the bike goes fast enough, right?
Brockhart's like, we go into the ocean? Let me change this bitch into a hydrofoil.
Oh, wow.
Cue Miami Vice music.
I'm curious, like, where the midpoint is, in case that's, like, significant. Between the 3 pyramids.
Just on the coast of the Dragon Strait, heading into the Dragon's Bay, in the Persawel quarter of Parnak. Persawel being the imperial portion of the province. Persawel being the city that the emperor rules in.
Anyway,
Far.
Let's attack her, guys.
my gosh, everything's attack with you right now.
Are you guys going to all follow her through the portal?
If the rest of the people are, I definitely will. I'm thinking we should kill this person, but we got to get her. We all got to be there, I think, to take her.
Sam, did she have anything to say about what's going to happen in 5 days?
I mean, she didn't say much about it.
4 days.
Do you think she genuinely knows what to do about it, or
Yeah.
so would we be killing a potential source of information about how to stop this?
First of all, I didn't say we kill her. I'm not the
Right.
one suggesting that we kill her. I'm suggesting we follow on our own initiative.
Vallette only raised the question of, could we take her if she turns against us?
And then Gilbert said, "Let's kill her."
Right.
She took over my home, guys. She's obviously.
Oh, you're pissed.
She gave it back.
Oh, she gave it back? Okay. That changes everything. But no, I will go with you guys if you want to follow her.
Gilbert, may I suggest also
Oh.
bringing with you a backup weapon?
Sorry,
in case
sorry,
this
sorry.
disappears?
I apologize. I only caught it in a note here in the chat. Gilbert goes upstairs to get the Esper Edge.
Yes.
That is a whole thing. I apologize. I need to deal with that.
Oh, that's the whole
Okay,
thing.
that's fine.
Okay.
Take your time.
You open
Oh,
up
this is
the,
going to be good.
you open up the door, and inside the room, it's completely just chilled out cold, with like a light mist kind of floating about. The sword kind of gleaming in its post, and standing over your scrying mirror is the Rhyme Witch. Helmet descended, single eye kind of staring at you. And she says, "I've watched everything you've been saying about me, and all your friends have been saying about me. Why do you think that I would go with you anywhere? This is my home now. You so easily ceded it to that traitor?
Wait, she did what?
This house. You didn't even put up a fight.
Yeah, she kind of took it from me.
Then you should have impaled her with me.
You were up here.
I could have been down there in a flash. As quickly as I can leave you, I can rejoin you. You have no motivation. And what I thought you were, you're not. You're a coward. I thought you were great.
I am great.
Great? Your house is exchanged left and right. First it belonged to the one in the robes, and then it belonged to this woman, this usurper. You probably think that she was more beautiful than I. She places her hand down into the water of the scrying mirror, or the scrying pool, and it kind of freezes solid like a block.
No, baby, you're the only one for me.
As she kind of holds it there, you realize that she's kind of exerting a bit of force, and the bowl starts to break, and she pushes down, and you watch as a whole scrying bowl just shatters underneath her weight and the weight of the water inside. And she kind of stares at you.
Be like, fix that, repair that.
You
right
are not
now.
my master. I am yours.
I'm gonna walk over and grab the sword, if it's sitting on the bed or wherever.
Okay. Go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw.
Constitution
Yay!
saving throw. That's when you wish you had Valette next
Damn.
to you. Let's see. That shouldn't be too bad. What did I roll?
19.
And 24,
Good enough.
but just 19.
So half of 48 is 24.
24.
And half of 24 is
Ouch.
12. You take 12 cold damage as you grab a hold of the blade.
Oh, that's right. Thank God I'm a blue gnome, guys.
Do you wish to try and hold on to the blade continuously, knowing that it's probably going to continue to frostbite you in this way, or just relinquish it, set it back down on the table?
Can I
Gotta
channel all my divine power into it and cause it to explode?
Show it who's boss.
Show it who's boss.
What's the highest level spell slot you got?
Was it 6?
Probably a
maybe?
6.
No. Yeah, 6th level.
Okay.
I have harm. Could I cast harm onto it?
You're trying to do this to the weapon, right?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and,
Screw it.
since this is an interesting turn of play, go ahead and make me a 20. Roll me a 20 or dice, a 20-sided dice.
All right. I'll roll a d20. Merry Christmas, guys. I got a 9.
Okay.
9.
You feel the force of your power kind of enter into the blade, and you can kind of feel like this strange kind of pulsing of divination, or divine wind kind of entering into your hand. For a moment, you have this strange kind of realization that you don't need this, and you kind of focus your energy on the thing that you said. For just a moment there, it sounded like you were perfectly content with this blade being shattered, and so it's done. As you're kind of holding on to the blade, all of your divine power, all of the white wind that flows and is stored inside of you, 6 level slots down, all of them disperse into the weapon,
Nice.
and you watch it shatter into pieces all over the ground. As that happens,
Nice.
you notice
Ultimate power.
you notice something interesting. The blade
Yeah.
breaks. The Rhyme Witch doesn't disappear. And she looks at you and she grins. Finally.
You're fighting now.
Oh no.
What did she say?
She says, finally. She kind of looks at her hand. I don't care about your burdens anymore. Enjoy your time here, you fool. They'll win. They're stronger than you. And she disappears.
God.
Oh shit.
Damn it.
Now,
You just freed her.
Go ahead
Damn,
and
I
just
did a Valette.
erase all of the benefits you have for
Yes.
the weapon.
Yep.
hmm,
She wasn't doing anything for me though. Like I was unable to use any of those, even though I had them.
so now Gilbert's background is magenta.
Magenta.
Nope,
Yes.
still red.
I'm still red. Better red than dead, man.
All right. Everyone downstairs hears a large kind of shattering and the sound of like pieces kind of hitting the roof above you.
I rush
Okay, now
upstairs.
nobody knows that. Okay, guys, don't metagame it. Nobody knows that I just released her, so you don't know that, and I'm not going to tell you. So I go downstairs with the pieces of the blade, and I'm like, I have destroyed the Rhyme Witch and my Esper. Cling.
There's nothing. There's no. I'm like there was no piece larger than like a toenail. Like literally, it
That's
shattered
okay,
into
yeah.
pieces. You take a couple of pieces and toss them onto the ground.
Couple pieces, little pieces. It's like I've just shattered my Esper.
How?
How much do you want to bet he just fell over and broke his scrying pool?
pure power. I used my divine power, and I did it.
Valette, actually, Proxcar as well. Go ahead and make perception checks. Because you're pretty attentive, guys.
That's harm. Holy shit.
12.
60.
It's not very good. It's
I
not
got 13.
That's not very good.
That's not good. Guys.
We rolled like crap.
Oh, that you got
I have a +6
No.
to perception.
Joe-
Does that?
Yeah, roll it as well. But Joe, you'd have a 14 because you have advantage goggles. That's still not good. All right. Nobody notices. All right. That's fine.
All right, it's done, guys. I did it. Destroyed the Esper. You guys doubted me. I don't know why. Look over at Valette. You doubted me. You doubted that I could do it. I just
never
got
said
fed up.
anything of the sort. I was more hoping that we might convert her to our cause, but this is potentially a means to an end. And
Well,
I pull out the husk of Cranebeak and hand it over to him.
It's still,
I don't know if this will ever come back to life, but in case it does, and I guess you're deemed worthy of it, may it serve you.
Okay.
yes.
Gilbert, the second you kind of take it into your hands, it just starts crumbling like ash in your hands.
Ooh.
Crumbling like ash in your hands.
Oh, that's brutal.
Okay.
Oh,
I don't
Killed
think-
it!
I don't think that an Esper is worthy of me. I think I can do fine.
oh
without
my
it.
gosh, the vanity is huge. No
Paramount.
wonder it crumbled.
No, I destroyed it. It didn't just crumble.
I
Well,
did
that
it.
other one crumbled.
It was
But I just-
me.
It was me. All right, guys, let's go get this other person. Right? Let's do it. I don't need this stupid Esper anyways.
Okay. So what's the plan?
Man, I feel like we need like 2 sessions of just unpacking all of Gilbert's like
I know, man.
whatever traumas he's experienced to make him be so self-reliant.
You know, I was just thinking, would Sam like think that Gilbert might be lying? And then I suddenly thought, no, Sam doesn't think Gilbert's intelligent enough to lie.
Yeah, and why would you even care? I don't think Sam would even care anyway.
Well,
Sam might care, but
the main thing that Valette would probably be noticing as everyone's kind of talking, and this is not related to perception checks, this is separate, but the tethers that you can kind of see amongst the Esper edges, there's no longer
Yeah.
one that links upstairs or links to Gilbert. He's no longer a part of the group.
Well, at the very least. I don't know if this was a good or a bad thing, Gilbert, but I can see that you are no longer tethered to her. Or to us.
This meeting.
Cutting in and out.
Can't hear you.
You can type it. Zach is having technical difficulties.
Don't worry about it.
Oh,
it happens.
no, say it now. You just came in perfectly clear. Ah, man. All right.
Sad.
I think he was just going to say something.
Not
about
happening.
Gilbert.
Okay. I'm gonna fight your internet, by the way.
We got to get you new internet, man.
For sure. Okay, so let's see.
We just need to get him a Patreon.
It's late.
Internet Patreon.
It's late in game. If anybody investigates what happened with Gilbert, if you go upstairs, you'll see that his scrying pool is broken. There's ice all over the place, and there does appear to be a broken remnant of Radin's razor all about the floor. So it sounds like it went down about how he described it.
Can I divine sense while in there just to see if I see any traces of her? Okay.
But Gilbert also explains to you that he used all of his power to do that, and is currently basically not ready for.
Oh, that's true. I forgot about
Combat.
that. So I'm tapped out, guys.
Right.
So
Not
now's the perfect time to head out, right?
Yeah, let's go.
You guys
No.
can head out, but I will just stick around at home, I guess, and rest.
No, I.
I'm stuck.
Do you trust us to keep you safe if we were to head out now?
Why would he
yeah.
trust us? He's the best of us.
Well, I mean, I am your leader, so I get it. You need me there, but
Why would he trust us?
yeah,
Gilbert?
I mean, I don't have power to do anything. I mean, I can't heal you one little bit. So
Gilbert, that's where
the
trusting us to protect you. Instead of you, we don't want you there because you're some leader or not. You are our friend, and on the morrow, you will have your power returned,
That's
and
true.
you'll be a great help to us. But the question is now, is time saved more important?
Right. All right. You've
We
convinced
will
me.
need you for sure, as you will need us. But I fear time is crucial.
So are you going or are you sleeping?
I'll go with them. What the heck?
All right.
This is how you die.
And you're setting up the soul portal, and you're preparing to take everybody in the same
Did
route.
he write a will leaving all of us all of his money and holdings in place? Can we get him to write that before we take him with us with no healing spells and
That's a good question. Do you want
I
to
would-
leave a last will and testament before you leave?
Yeah, I would leave it all to the gnomes, to my gnome relatives,
Okay.
for sure.
You
But
dick!
I would
God damn it, Gilbert!
No. He writes, and the dining room table is left to Frack,
Frack,
Knight of the
sleep on.
Realm and the King.
Right, I'll have one dining
I would,
of homelessness, you dick!
Just park it outside, sleep under it. Nice.
I would tell Valette that I have 3 diamonds for Revivify in my pouch here, so if I get killed, you can, or if somebody else gets killed, you can Revivify.
Thank you. I will make note of that.
Yeah.
Right. If he gets killed, we can steal his diamonds.
Or you steal my diamonds.
Oh my god. Such
So
hate.
bad, guys.
Such
So
hate.
bad.
Okay, so the soul portal is keyed to Old Heistrick, the barn outside of it. Do you want to go there? Okay.
Anyone have any better plans?
I feel like Sam's
I
on
mean-
point on this.
There are 2 soul source Esper swords coming.
Let's go.
Okay.
There are 2 Esper swords coming. He asked, and so that's true, right?
Right. There are 2, according to what you know, that are already heading towards Rostagar. So, you're leaving Rostagar to go and find something else.
Whatever. Maybe.
It seems like a great time for John to narratively write that we all missed it somehow.
Do we
Yeah.
guys
You know.
want to split the party?
No, not to
Oh.
fight those 2. Shit, no.
Yeah,
Well, John,
Graham.
I didn't have any sense of how far out from Reskar they were, right? Just that they were on their way, and they were going by carriage or something, so it was taking longer than
They were in
like.
some sort of tavern or inn. And since you haven't really been outside of the city, you don't have much to go on other than the way the room looked, descriptive-wise.
Right.
I mean, if we want to stay here and wait for them, we can. Either way, I'm fine with it. I suppose there's not much we can do.
I'm cool.
So-
Just coming from a DM perspective, I'm cool either way you go. I mean,
Oh, yeah,
I'm
no,
just
I
wanting
know.
to make
I'm
sure
saying
you know
as a-
your options.
Sam saying that as a party, like I'm just like I don't. Sam doesn't care one way or the other.
So
which
Ren
we
would
end
ask,
up doing.
if we catch her, then what would you say or do?
I'm not even suggesting we catch her. Just we go to the same place and, maybe beat her there.
And then what?
I have a same mind as Sam to find the pyramid and see what knowledge lies in there to stop whatever is about to happen with the alignment.
Right.
That seems the greatest danger. For sure, if it takes us long and these anti-espers arrive, evil will be done. But I fear that they might be a lesser evil at this point, something that sadly we might need to push off to deal with a greater threat.
You come back, the conglomerate's been destroyed again. Goodman's
Okay.
dead.
So I think we've fielded both kind of options here. Let's just go ahead and do a quick vote and work on that. Andy, stay or go?
Go.
Paulette, Tim,
Go.
Joe,
Go.
Kevin,
Go.
and Matt.
Sure, let's go.
And Zach, I
See
think, goes probably the winner out, so.
Doesn't seem to matter, you know.
Yeah. I'll go backwards next time so you get the first vote. You could be Iowa.
No worries.
You can be Iowa.
Right. So you go down to the soul portal, keyed towards Old Heistrick. You all step through. As you're stepping through, though, having spent a lot of time indoors, not really paying attention to the amount of time that's passed, you don't know what time it really is at Rostigar. But when you arrive in the barn at Old Heistrick, south of the capital city, you notice that it's about late afternoon into the early evening time. Sam, knowing a bit about time zones, you would know that Old Heistrick is about 3 to 4 hours behind. So it's pretty late.
Right.
The barn seems to be just as you recall it. Portal symbol on the ground, haystacks everywhere, no people.
So is there a way that I can close the portal?
Basically, to unkey it, yeah, you can do that. That's fine. And Brack, the thing that you're noticing is everyone's kind of focusing on what they're focusing on. There also don't seem to be any animals inside of the barn.
Is there any signs of there having been animals?
Yeah, make a survival check as you kind of look around too.
$20.
You realize that the animals haven't been here for a few days, maybe a couple of 6 days. Yeah, at least a 6 day or two. Do you bring this to anyone's attention, or?
Yeah, I'm gonna mention that immediately.
Okay.
That's weird.
The time seems to sync with the same time that you arrived here the first time. When you were in the portalway. It sounds like it was probably in or around the same time
Okay.
when you were in the pyramid. I mean, not when you were in the pyramid, when you were traveling around in portals.
Right. Right.
Yeah. The old man and the kid do not appear to be anywhere. And when you step outside of the barn, you can see that the farm proper looks like it's in kind of disrepair. And it looks like the farmhouse proper looks like it has been detonated from the inside. Scatterings of wood kind of all about the grounds around it.
Oops.
Does this look like something that lady did?
Looks like it's older.
Yeah, I'm guessing this is from last time we visited.
Oh.
So, who wants to find an inn?
Okay. Up to the north, you can see a massive city of spires, which you presume to be Old Heistrick. If you head that direction, Rack, with your 20 survival, you also notice that there are pretty fresh tracks that look like they headed in that direction as well. Small, daintier footprints, apparently about the same size that you remember that Magdalena woman's feet being.
So I'll mention that as well.
Okay. You head to the city of Old Highstreak. It appears that the entries into the city are open. There are no walls or barriers of any kind. There do appear to be a lot of high towers, very similar to the Mage Years towers that you've seen, to the two that you've seen in your city. But I'm talking hundreds of them. Sam.
Yeah.
The other thing you notice is that there's kind of a vibe of arcane energy kind of just present everywhere. It just seems like there's a lingering magical force. Like a lot of magics have been used here recently and over time. But the people are kind of migrating towards taverns for, quiet evenings in. The weather seems to be pretty decent. So there are some people out on the streets reveling, drinking. You can see on occasion some upstart mage kind of casting to try and impress somebody. Very shortly thereafter, very large armored individuals coming over and basically having a word with them. But yeah, definitely very different in comparison to what you were used to in the city of Rostigar. And the Janaran accent that you're familiar with from Yen Lauren is very prominent in the people that you're passing by. I won't try and match it, but yeah, very distinct accent. Okay. You're looking for a tavern? Well,
Yes, and also question. So Old Heisrick, is that like a port city?
is that a port city? Yes, it is.
Okay, so if we we could find somewhere near like docks or something like that if we are planning on heading out towards.
Correct. So you're entering from due south, which means that you're entering into the city to the east of the Darkwind Bay, and you're entering to, which is the small kind of river end there. The city itself is actually built on a connection point between the lower Highstreak Peninsula and the higher, let me double check what they're called, Scoria Hills to the north. The bay kind of narrows at that point where the peninsula comes up and then opens out to the Madramic Ocean. The bay is actually set inside, and the city is built over top the bay's entry. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Great. So you do see, like, as you're entering into the city center and kind of looking around, it's very similar to. It's got a lot of waterways that move through it. Is what I'm trying to insinuate here. Are you looking for a tavern, an inn that's closer to the waterfront, or are you just going for the waterfront looking for a boat immediately?
I was figuring we could probably find a inn closer to the waterfront, make things simpler.
Okay. You head over that direction. You do see one. Looks like this specific tavern and inn is called. Let's see. The Lanced Elf. And it appears that the sign, it looks like a caricature of an elf, kind of dark hair, with a bunch of pins in it.
Right.
Okay. You all enter in like a bunch of tourists. It looks like there's basically no one in the establishment. Very quiet night, and the barkeep kind of looks over at you. Hey,
Eight
what are you looking for?
rooms.
Oh, yeah, 2 silvers a piece.
Sam puts down 2 silver.
And you you aren't renegades, no? Don't know why I went French, but
No. Is that a problem here, really?
oh yeah, as of late, very much.
Strange. No, we're going on a. Well, we're hoping to hire someone to go on a bit of an expedition out to sea.
You're looking for a boat?
It's the plan.
Uh, well, good luck to you. I do not know if you will find one, but if you try hard and have enough coin, maybe. I have a boat. I sell you the whole boat, 300.
300 what?
Yeah, it's 3. That's kind of looks at you. 300 gold.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
Oh, you're not from the lands of Jornaris, no? You do not serve under the dynast's rule?
I'm not answering him. I just look at the group. Do any of us know how to actually drive a boat on our own?
No.
That would be a no.
Huh. Could be a problem.
Just hire
Um,
somebody to sail the boat.
if you want, I sell you both 300, no problem. But if you are looking for someone to take you somewhere, that's going to not be me. If you can find a person to help you, maybe. But as I said, most people busy getting started with trade season, settling their ships up north to Deot, south and around the Greliad. They're not staying here in the city for very much longer as spring is opening up. You know?
Yeah, well, we'll see if we can find someone tomorrow
Yeah. Very good.
early.
Well, 2 silver apiece from each of you. And if you want something to eat, all I have on service right now is some suckerfish and a little bit of vegetable stewed.
Yeah, works for me.
If you want something to drink, I'm sorry, it's just going to be piss water, basically.
This place has a nice aesthetic, I think.
I can stay here forever. Alright, so 2 silver off of your sheet. And then if you drink it all, it's going to cost you an extra 2 silver, but bail as shit. Anybody have anything that they want to do in the city of Old Hystrix? It is a very large and old city, similar to Rostigar, except that Rostigar has a lot of modern conveniences and high buildings that are basically built for function, whereas these high buildings are built for style and mostly as kind of a, I'm better than you kind of mentality in regards to like mages building these towers.
Ren would turn to Valette and wonder whether they can't work together to try to find some way to help track down the person we're trying to track down.
Well, was it so much we're trying to track them down or beat them there?
Yeah. So to the pyramid.
If you would like to get an eye on them, I mean, I'm more than willing to help. I'm just trying to clarify, was that our objective in coming?
Well, I think that Sam's objective was to beat them there, but I'm not sure what we do after that.
I think there's an element of not knowing until we get there. When we get to the Pyramid of Light, see what it's about, hopefully gain more insight into the alignment. Then that's when a plan will have to get formed on the spot since we don't have ultimate information.
That's fine. So how about this instead? Is that I just sort of be keeping an eye on any kind of signs that we're being watched in any kind of a strange way.
Yeah, and I mean, it might not be a terrible idea to throw out, some coin here or there to maybe get some people to report to you. If they see someone matching the lady's description, just in case, if she's in the area, it might be able to allow us to know if she starts tailing us.
Are there signs of gang activity, camp markings anywhere?
No.
Hmm.
If you have history trained, make a history check. Is that kind of a thought?
So out of curiosity,
I do
how
not.
is it at this point?
How is what at this point?
Late.
Oh,
And
in game, it took you about half an hour to walk from the barn to the city, and it was bordering on nighttime there. It probably took you the better part of an hour to move through the city to the location you wanted to go to, the port area. So we're looking at like 8-ish.
gotcha. So probably going out and just seeing if anyone on the docks is going to be this.
You want to go check it out?
Yeah, might as well.
Okay. You see that there are a lot of surly looking sailors kind of sitting on boxes, kind of like staying close to their ships. Several of them have these cups, these strange like clay cups with weird patternings and designs on them. Very ornate looking cups, and they kind of seem to be kind of sloshing about their drinks and talking, shooting the shit. You hear conversations as wild and random as, "Oh, I hear the Bandit King of Dayet is really interested in a lot of the things Heiserk has to offer this year. Should be a good turnabout this season. We should make a lot of coin." Or things like, "Not too many people are interested in traveling too far out into the Madramic Ocean this year. Seems like whatever the gods have in store for the sailors out and about, it's nothing but punishment. Nothing but scorn."
So for whoever I heard say that, I would approach over to them and just sort of ask, who would be wanting to go out that direction?
You got 4 sailors kind of look at you, go, and they all kind of look at you. Who the fuck's asking?
Me, that's who the fuck.
Who the fuck are you?
Person with enough coin to get myself out there if someone's actually willing to go out there. That's who.
Well, the first guy kind of like yields back. The other guy in behind says, "Look, if your coin's good, I'd be willing to go, but I'm not much of a leader type. Definitely just a sailor folk. But it's got to be good, and can't be too far out. If what we're hearing is true." The other guy says, "You're crazy, Tim. It's nuts out there. I heard that a ship was swallowed by the water and waves themselves. The water and waves formed a maw and swallowed the whole ship, a galleon." Tim kind of looks over at you and says, "No, well, I haven't seen shit like that, so if your coin's good, I mean really good, especially with everything that they're saying might be true. I mean, hazard pay and all, yeah? I'd be willing to serve on whatever ship you can stock up."
Yeah, do you know a ship that'd be willing to go that direction? As I
Well,
said, willing to pay.
the ship I was just on, we came around the coast from Kreliad. We didn't stay too far in the Madramic. Pretty much bounced coast to coast. My contract is pretty flexible with them, but I'm pretty sure that the captain's not going to be keen on such a journey. And you kind of see and look over at the ship, and it looks seaworthy enough, but it's definitely an older craft.
Interesting. I
Probably-
take note of.
Probably better than the 300 gold piece ship the barkeep was trying to sell you, but yeah.
Right. I keep track of the ship and just look at him. Right. I'll be back around tomorrow and see.
All right. Well, I'll be around unless I find other work.
Flood's not there.
Yeah.
What, are you suggesting I pay him now?
Oh, I'm just assuming in the morning he's going to be gone because Blondie's going to get to him first and hire him.
Do you continue walking around listening for rumors?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. As you continue to kind of listen into rumors and just kind of pass her by, some people are kind of a little bit less loose-lipped and kind of just see some stranger with green hair passing by and kind of give you looks like. But another couple of people you pass by, you hear one say, "Yeah, she just folded a boat out of her bag and set off. It was real strange."
Or not.
Continue on down the way.
Damn it.
You hear
Nice.
I mean, I'm not surprised.
someone say, "Is it true what they said about the creeper of Dragon's Bay? It's moved towards Dade through the ocean." Yeah. They say that the creeper's on its way to the city of Dade, and a lot of folks aren't really planning on going that way. I say keep to the trade routes with Kreliad up to Ikashad. Best way to go. Honestly, everything to the east is dead anyways. There's no trade. The Emperor's outlawed most good trade, anywho. Fucking Parnans.
Okay, I'm going to head back, share what I found out with the crew, and we'll just figure out other stuff in the morning, I guess.
Sure. If nobody has anything else they want to do in the city, and you guys are going to sleep, 3 days remain, including the one you're in. You wake in the morning. What do you wish to do?
Right, so beating her out there is probably not going to happen. Do we want to try still?
I don't know what the use of it would be. Maybe it'd be better just to go back.
Yeah, it does seem kind of pointless.
Was it Sam? When we first learned of this location, before she imposed upon you to get her here, did you not want to look into it for yourself?
No, I did. It's just a question of getting out there.
So, would it perhaps still be worth the effort to see if we can find new information, or do you trust her to seek to resolve it on her own?
I don't even know her. She just randomly shows up. Sure, she's an evil Esper Edge. Doesn't mean anything. Gilbert did that, and I don't trust him.
You aren't really offered any kind of breakfast or anything in the main chamber, and it doesn't look like anybody's present to serve you anyhow. And checkout doesn't seem to be a thing that is concerned about here. The old gentleman who was behind the bar isn't present. That said, Broskar, Gilbert, Ren, Vrak, is there anything you want to do? Maybe catch some fresh air, step out onto the the lane, check out anything in the city, anything in particular, or are you just staying with them?
I want to just attune to different magic items because I no longer have my Esper. So I'd like to attune to. Can I attune to 2 amulets, like an amulet of health and an amulet of proof against detection?
I don't believe you can. No.
All right, then I'll do the amulet of health and the ring of psychic. No, I'll do the actually wand of the war mage. I'll give you a +1 to my ranged attacks.
Spells, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Broskar, anything from you? You want to stay inside the bar or just head out?
Yeah, nothing in particular. I'll stay inside the book.
Okay. Vrak, for you?
No, nothing either.
Okay, and Ren?
Yeah, we need to just get out of here.
Okay. So you guys are gathering up your things and heading back out of the city?
I mean, if everyone's against Sam, sure.
No, I'll stick with Ren. So if heading out, we're heading out.
You can't seem to do anything right, man. Ugh. It's bullshit.
Well, if
We
somebody
can still go out that way. We just need to get a crew.
Okay. You all eventually end outside, kind of leaving this bar that doesn't seem to have anybody in it and isn't terribly important to you, with your stuff gathered and kind of looking around. What you realize very quickly is that in the dark of night, it was hard to kind of discern the nature of these boats. But now you can see that there are some regular boats, similar to the ones that you saw parked up with people, but interspersed throughout are these very strange and very familiar looking boats. Skyships set at dock in the waters. Conglomerate skyships. Probably about as far as the eye can see. Dozens, possibly hundreds. And you see one off in the distance coming down, hitting the water, and moving towards its docking post.
I wonder if we could steal one of those.
As it does
We
so,
might-
it hits and kind of sets the dock. Everybody go ahead and make a perception check.
Yay! I got a 7.
20.
I'm thinking about stealing one.
22.
Everybody but
So
Sam.
does Zach.
Oh, well, everybody but Sam, Gilbert, and Broxgar. When you see the ship kind of docking, you see heavy armored individuals kind of disembarking. You also see what appear to be 3 of the Nyctalopes moving off of the ship as well in formation. And then you also see what appears to be a conservator or mage under a magier walking off the ship with a prisoner in tow. A woman, blonde hair, slightly ragged blue dress. It appears to be the mage from last night.
Chuckle, chuckle.
They appear to be heading into the city with her as her prisoner.
Seriously, if we could steal one of those, that would make things so easier.
I could see if I could requisition one, or get them to drop us off.
Yeah, but wouldn't we have to explain that then?
Yes. Well, at least we would have to give them a reason why we need to head out there.
Yeah, it might be easier to just get a regular boat then.
What's to say we won't end up any different than she?
What do you mean?
Arrested trying to get there.
What do you mean arrested trying to get there?
Don't you think that they took her into custody for trying to go to the pyramid?
Wait, who took her into custody? What?
The conglomerate.
Come
What do you
on.
mean the conglomerate just took her into... What?
Come on. Come on.
Do you point it out to Sam?
Yes.
Sam,
Oh.
you see,
See?
3 Nyctalopes walking out in front of a conservator with your stalker in shackles.
I mean, it was really kind of creepy that you kept following me around. Not gonna lie.
Fair enough.
Huh. Well, that'll make it easier to, get out there. Also,
Again,
why-
what's gonna prevent them from arresting us for trying to
we're
get
not
the-
using a magic boat.
It also might be worth me going by and asking about it, because at least that'll give us an idea as if they're guarding this pyramid or not.
Fine, you can go and ask. Hopefully this doesn't blow up in our face.
Okay.
So Valette seeks to follow and approach like someone that might be a part of that entourage. That isn't. The idea is to find someone who isn't like actively escorting the prisoner, but is like a part of the group and might have like maybe going up to someone on the dock on the ship,
So
the sky ship.
the skyship isn't piloted by a crew, as you may have noticed. The Enforcer 47 piloted one by himself. The Conservator is apparently the pilot. The Heavy Guard and the 3 Nyctalopes were there basically as a show of force. And
Okay.
those appear to be the only conglomerate individuals that you can see present on the docks.
Okay, so I guess I would.
Approach the
I guess like I don't want to be like an annoying person that like, oh hi, I work for the same company at a different city. Like, what you doing? Like, I guess I would tail them for a bit to just see like, are they heading back to like a place, and then from there inquire after.
Sure.
I-
Are you so you're just going to tail them for a while and then like hope to?
So you're the super awkward guy that follows them and then asks them.
I guess
Can-
I'll just. I
Can
guess
we
I'll
all just follow Valette?
You know,
what happened?
A show of force has appeared. I'm visiting from another city. I happen to be work with a conglomerate. I will just approach and ask about this, like, just
So-
out of curiosity.
The
what was their
Conservator
goal?
directly?
If he's the only human there, or like, not Nyctalope, then yes.
The second you start to approach him and his prisoner, the Nyctalopes turn and face you, shields bubble out, and the swords turn red hot. And he kind of looks over to you, takes the shackles and pushes them down, and you watch them slam like magnets down onto the stone. He raises his hands and looks at you. Who are you? Announce yourself.
Oh gosh. My name is. Would it be more likely that I would just give my designation from Rastegar?
Give it how you want to give it. You
All right.
know all of your titles. How you
Right,
gonna
right,
do it.
exactly. Let me just double check notes. I think I'm Agent 7 when I'm not Agent X. It's either 3 or 7. I think it's.
Like- 007.
Sorry.
Agent 73.
Valette Bond.
Shaken, not stirred. Well,
John's just sitting there like, how am I going to kill these guys? He's saying 7.
yeah, I'm 7. Okay, cool. Thank you. So, Agent 7 out of Rastegar.
Show.
I show the one that I have for public display that I was given by Major Goodman.
What are you doing in the capital?
I'm currently on leave to taking some time, and just happened to be here and was curious as to what's happening.
This individual is also from Rashagar. Were you tailing them?
Tell the truth.
Yes, they were inquiring after something that piqued my interest, and so I was seeking to see where they might be headed.
I'm sure we could deal with a exchange of prisoner. Her items were not licensed, so they will be kept by the detachment here. But if it is your wish to return her back to where she committed her crimes, we can send her along with you.
Understood. And where was she headed when she was apprehended?
We have no idea. She used a unlicensed folding boat on dock in the sight of others. They reported it to the conglomerate. We sent out a skyship to detain her. Whatever she happens to be trekking after, and all of that, you can send that in a report if it's something that our precinct here should have on file.
Understood. And so, slightly faded out of hearing. Is like I'm good to like fill out a report and then I can take her with me.
No, you can just take her with you.
Okay.
Yeah, but they have stripped her of her items, and then they
Yeah.
hand her manacles and all over to you. And the manacles are familiar. They are only kept in Rostagar by the Magier and very high witch hunters. Basically, how the bindings work is when they are attached to a creature, the creature cannot exert spells out of their body. Spells cannot leave their form in any way, shape, or form. At will, what have you. Psionics, everything is just kind of locked into the person. The winds are basically blocked from entering in. And also, as an action, you can push the manacles down, and the individual is restrained to the ground.
This
Escape.
is so cool.
Escape DC is 20.
Okay. Cool. I like this item that I now have possession of. With prisoner in tow.
Yeah. Make
Does he have a way to unlock them?
Yep. They pass over the key. Make an wisdom insight check.
Alright. 15 unless someone wants to give me
I'll give him inspiration. Or is 15 enough?
What are you doing?
I'll give him inspiration, sure.
The conservator seems to be totally formal. Doesn't seem to see anything wrong with this. Basically, sees this as kind of a situation that seems to be apparent and transactional. Happens all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Her, on the other hand, pissed off, really annoyed at the fact that you're here, wants to rip the conservator's head off and then stuff it down your throat, and goes along with it at the end, basically just kind of chagrined and absolutely moody about the fact that you've taken her as a prisoner. As you get her away from the conservator, she looks to you. He had you follow me? Looks at you where you're leading her to the group.
We happened to see you being escorted off, and I guess I was trying to make sure that it wasn't them guarding a specific location and simply detecting items.
Yeah, as I said, magic boat.
The conglomerate doesn't know about the Pyramid of Light. A lot of people coming in from Rostagar is going to draw attention to it. If you have to file the paperwork that individual said, even after we check out to it, they'll either see that the paperwork is missing and be annoyed. She just kind of looks at you, looks to Sam, holding her hands out in manacles, annoyed. Just, you should have just killed me in Gilbert's house.
I mean, the thought was crossing my mind at certain, but
As
this
you-
is more entertaining.
As you overhear it, and she looks at you, and she's like, you tried real hard and you failed, and you just like wasting my time.
So, Sam, I think I will need to take her with us for... Well, do we want to take her with us or set her on her way? I'll let you make the call on this.
I was still planning on looking for a boat.
Yeah, now we could just bring her as a guide.
Do you want her to have her magical capacities intact?
Yeah, I mean, we don't have to do that right now. When we get closer to the pyramid, probably not a bad idea, but
Alright. Well, for what it's worth, I apologize for the inconvenience, as it were, right now, Magdalena, but I think it might be best that we keep up appearances as we look for a boat.
Sure, fine, whatever. I don't understand why you're here.
Villette looks over to Sam! Again, not being the one to put my foot in my mouth this time.
I mean, to be fair, I was planning on coming here to begin with anyway. You just happened to appear.
You don't get it. You can't go unless you do what I... She shakes her head some more. You can't go unless you do what I told you to do. And she looks over to Gilbert. Interesting. Finally somebody worth talking to. And she smiles at Gilbert.
No, don't encourage him. Trust me. That's a mistake. You will regret that.
Oh, I know. He's a pompous piece of shit, but at least he had the courage to do what was right. Even if it was for the wrong reasons.
Some people go take different paths, You guys gotta let them get there when it's their turn. And their
Sure,
time.
granted. But I don't have time to be playing these games.
Also, wisdom saving throw. Can't drown him.
Matt,
Why? Explain why we can't take the Esper edges to the pyramid.
If my research is accurate, and I don't know if it is, the Pyramid of Souls is the corruptor. The Pyramid of Shadows is the devourer. The Pyramid of Light is the retributor. The items you have are malignant. They have dead people in them. You're walking in. You're walking in with an affront. You're walking in with a slap to their face.
would it not be wise for me myself to enter in then?
Shakes her head. You don't get it. You don't get it. Do you get it? And she looks to Sam. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I understand what you're trying to say. But really, the one person that it's not going to reject is this guy, Gilbert. I mean, honestly, if we're talking about an affront.
Sure, I'll take the gnome. I mean, the smartest one of the lot. And that's just depressing, really. And she just starts laughing. Silly manacles.
What if we were to leave them behind and enter in without them?
Yeah, that's not going to work. We're still tethered.
Our souls are tethered to them.
What if we were to unattune from them?
I don't think that untethers things. That's unattuned, but that doesn't necessarily mean that things are untethered.
So, okay. I messed up. And I can't help but say that I'm thankful that you saved me from the law. I cannot repay you anymore, but I will owe you a favor. That said, I can't go with you because you are a deterrent to me entering in a pure fashion. Unless he goes. Or unless you break all your weapons. I know you're not going to do that. Looks to Brack. I'm pretty sure he can't even do that.
What do you intend to do when you're there?
Learn. And like I told Sam, if it is truly a counter to the other two pyramids, then try and unleash it against them. I'm at your mercy, and I owe you. She looks to the manacles and looks to Valette.
Sam?
Tim, when Valette did the magic thingy where she saw that the line, the tether was broken with Gilbert, was it also broken with Brock?
Oh.
No.
No.
No, because his weapon is just inert.
No.
There's still the connection.
He is possibly unattuned to the weapon, but he is tethered to it because he felt he committed to the sin of wrath.
Okay.
And like he has had conversations with what's his name, like with the anti-esper. So
Calgor.
whether or not he's Calgor, yeah. So whether or not he's attuned, I don't know if he is or isn't, but he is tethered.
So if what she says is true, then the only thing that there are only a couple of options. We could all leave. We could all go in and provoke the wrath of whatever's in there, or we could send Gilbert in with her and report back.
She kind of looks.
It's not even that. It's not even, like, you know, the whole getting near it thing.
Like we might not even be able to enter.
It's not
if
even
her notes are correct.
right. Not even get close to the thing necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
And she continues to look at the manacles and Valette. And then looks over to Sam. You, more than anyone here, should understand why wasting time like this does not benefit anyone.
But let her go, Gilbert. If you want to go with her, whatever. Rest of us, let's go home.
She looks to Valette.
Can you promise to come After you're done your research, come meet with us again to let us know what you found.
She looks over to Sam. Are you going to leave it open?
Fine. Gilbert, if you're willing to let gate to here open in your house. Heck, even if you're not willing to let it open.
I'm just gonna say, no taking over my. If Valette releases you, no taking over my house anymore. That's very rude. And I'm not gonna go with you. I'm going back with the heroes. So.
That's fine.
Damn it.
They're trying to get rid of me, but it's not that easy.
Yeah, I don't mean this as an insult, but I feel like I'm better off. Thank you. I will find a way out that doesn't utilize magic. And hopefully I can get out there quickly. Good luck on whatever endeavors you plan on engaging in.
And I use the key to unlock the manacles.
Okay. Take them back, put them in your pocket.
And actually, I would give her a change of clothes, so that she's not wearing what she got caught in.
Sure. She'll accept. She keeps her own clothes, though, and puts them in her bag.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of keeps them underneath the heavier clothing, too. Okay. You head back to the barn, spending the better part of the morning engaging in this process. You get there kind of late morning, closer to noon.
It's close to just breaking my own Esperanto.
And teleport back through to Gilbert's house.
All right.
Okay. You arrive back. Okay. Then what? The middle of the day, 3 days out. Well, 2.5 days out. This is one of the 3 days.
Well, I've got no idea what to do.
Okay. So studying. Valette, what are you doing?
Do you want me to interrupt the Major to get his thoughts since he was studying as well? I can't promise that he will be able to be any help, but if we're concerned that this is about to happen.
If he's around, sure.
Okay. Spending time trying to get in contact with the mage here. Okay. Gilbert, what are you doing during the last 2 days? I'm just going to go ahead and speed track this because it's a little later than I anticipated.
Yeah.
You guys spun the
I'm
tires
just
a
gonna try
lot.
to purify my soul
Okay.
to get in good with my God, all that stuff.
Sure. And it doesn't take much effort between you and some assistants to get the bowl back to workable standards. Ren,
I'd want to get the house ready for the apparent attack of the Shadow and Grun.
Okay. And Gilbert, do you want to keep scrying on them to see if you can't scry on them rather and track them with Ren's kind of assistance? So you would know that Grun seems to be some sort of priest. Shadow, not so much. Shadow would probably be the one that you want to try and detect. But on your first attempt to do so, you learn that he is undetectable. And as you think about it, Ren, you start to kind of explain an amulet he used to wear. And
Yeah, he had one of those.
Sam mentions that might be an amulet of non-detection.
Yeah.
So you can attempt on Grun. Go ahead and roll a d20.
All right, let's do it, guys. We're D20ing it tonight. Let's see. If it didn't work.
Is low good or what?
Oh,
Low is
only
good.
A 6. Hey, low is good. Yeah.
Okay. What's your DC?
17.
Okay. So you managed to focus in on Grun, and based on your keying, he appears to be on a boat now, standing kind of out on some sort of boat.
Okay. Do you think he's coming into the port of Rastigar?
When you
Yes,
see
the
him start,
port of Rastigar.
he doesn't say anything the whole time you're watching him. But what you do see is as he kind of walks around to each of the people who are crewing the ship, he kind of holds this strange symbol out to them, And what you start to realize is that none of the people that are manning the ship are alive, they're all undead.
Interesting. A necromancer. I will tell that to everybody,
Fun.
just so they know.
Okay?
Interesting.
You do also notice that Shadow is also somewhere on the ship, but no, you don't, because he's non-detectable, even through this means.
So, don't see him.
No Shadow.
Shadow does not appear to be on the ship, guys.
Is there like he's talking to nobody, and like
Yeah.
there seems to be something sitting there, but there's nothing. Yeah, similar to that.
Right.
So you spend a bit of time scrying, and with the assistance of Ren, kind of thinking about location and communication, you start to think that based on where you saw him the first time, he was probably at some sort of small, just keep or like hostel in the city of Oku, I believe. Hold on, let me check.
When did we lose Joe?
A while ago. Oku, which is actually located here. It's not on the map. No, not Oku. Sorry,
Oh,
sorry. Not Oku. Sing. Sorry. Singe.
Oh, interesting.
So you said it's there?
Correct.
Okay. Wow, that's pretty close.
Yep.
Yeah.
And based on the boat's position and the number of islands and the islands being connected by sky rails, you presume that he's in the Shattered Isles, which means that he'll be here within like a 6 day, depending on the weather.
All right, I would tell everybody that.
You can keep track of him. It doesn't look like he's going to be taking landfall on the last day, but does anybody have anything else that they want to do during the 2 days? You are not able to get in contact with the Magier. The times that you do get in contact with him, he basically just tells you to stop calling him. A similar call will happen on the last day, and that will be basically cliff noted to the fact that he got an annoying call while he was in the wedding, and that was you the whole time.
Yeah.
Stop calling me.
Okay. And
I would leave a message with like the receptionist, basically, of like
and
when they see him,
you literally
relay
have
bullet point information.
just stacks of notes basically waiting for him at the Mage's Tower on his personal desk with the clerks, anybody who's bare to listen to, you leaving a message for the Magier. I got it. So that said, moving on to the point at hand, the wedding day begins. Do you wish to stay at Kirgosler Manor or try and get close to see if you can't like see the festivities? It's a big event.
So we wouldn't be able to allow entrance into the castle grounds, but we could be outside of it.
Correct.
I want to head more towards. Is the conglomerate tower more towards the center of the?
Yeah, let me go ahead and flip it back to the city real quick. So
I'm trying to remember the position. Like I know there was positioning. Could I? With like. I'm trying to remember if I could pinpoint exactly where that positioning was over the city.
where what was?
I just remember that with the what was it with the alignment stuff? Something was positioned over the city. I can't remember.
Yeah,
And I
positioned over Alderac specifically.
right.
You can't get directly beneath it or directly where it's pinpointed to because it's in the Capitol building.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we might as well try to at least get as possible to there.
Well, you're trying to stay in the Noble Quarter, and you don't live too far away anyways. But, Gilbert, you would notice that your holy symbol has reverted back to its original state. It's a black symbol instead of a white symbol.
Sweet.
It's a thing that nobody else noticed when you broke the weapon. That said, you all kind of head on
Nice.
over that way. Gilbert does not go. Seems to be very focused in on himself in his room. After helping Ren kind of scry and keep an eye on Grun, But when you arrive there, it's pretty somber. Nothing's really happening. Then there's a very large commotion. Attempts to try and get in closer are met with kind of like a very large crowd. It's very difficult to move through. By the time that you kind of muscle in close to that area, a lot of people are basically yelling and whispering and saying that the king's been killed. The king's been assassinated on his wedding day. Why do they keep killing our kings?
Can I just roll? Sam just rolls his eyes and just, like, whoever's next to him.
And then you notice that the sky goes dark in the middle of the day. Sam, you are watching it as it's basically happening, slow crawling. Like, you're just keeping an eye on it, just wondering, how's this going to go? What could I have done to have stopped it? There's nothing I could have done. This is going to happen regardless. I just have to see it and deal with it as it happens. As you see the full alignment connect, and this creates a strange series of eclipses. What appears to be a perfect lunar eclipse over the sun, but then also an eclipse of that lunar segment there by a smaller moon, completely solid black, and then just complete coverage between the two, creating kind of an isolinear lens where the solar exterior, the Bailey's beads of the sun exerting out from what would be a normal solar eclipse no longer manifests. This is a complete eclipse. No light. Solid black. No stars in the sky. Completely dark. Lights start activating as people start kind of turning on the lights that would normally be on at night. And as these lights start to shine about and you start to see a bit more of the city, the eclipse starts to peel just a little bit and allow a little bit of the sunlight to trickle in. And as it does, you notice that it's still slightly blocked by something else, something closer. When you all turn to look at Alderak's spire, just above the tip of it is the top of a pyramid, upside down, pointed straight down at the capital city. The pyramid looks familiar, its top. Green in color, bright yellow sides, very similar to the Pyramid of Souls that you saw the top of, buried and underneath the city of Rostigard. It seems that this is in place, but it doesn't seem to be what you expected at all, Sam. The Dargian Rift should have opened. Or maybe it did. Maybe this came out of it. Maybe that's where it's been hiding. But there it floats, above you. High in the sky. I think that's where we're going to end off the session and the year for the game. I'm pretty sure there'll be a lot of questions regarding the pyramid and what to do with it. And we'll discuss how that'll work out next time. Thanks for watching. Sorry it ran a bit long. There was a lot of trying to figure out what to do, and it's my fault. I should have tried to game it so that it was closer to the day of, so that we could have had that happen accurately, but that said, seems to work fine. Thanks for watching, and see you next year.
Bye.
Bye.